Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of TCH Live. It's Dallas, Texas, where we're calling from. High stakes poker night here in the DFW area. It's Ben K with you, and I'm alongside my fearless co-host, Aaron McAvoy. What's up, Aaron?
Not a whole lot, man. Good to be here with you, hanging out here on this Tuesday evening. Looking forward to tonight's game here. So,
look at this totally cool view that they've got me on. Sorry, I didn't realize I was going live, but now you can see into my epic office background, 10 by 10 cube that I live in all day every day. Good to see everyone out there in YouTube land. Thanks for joining us. Make yourself known in the chat. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, because we got a fun one for you tonight. Poker Monkey says, hi, Kirby and Aaron. Hi back at you, Poker Monkey. As does Kicker Problems. What up? What up? Good to see all of you out there as we put $250 in the middle blind per player. 4 cards face down, 5 cards face up, and it looks like seat 9 takes the flip. And I don't recognize this person. Adam. Seat 9, starting the night in a profitable way, the best way.
A couple of players buying in pretty deep stacked here. We've got Brian Green coming in for what looked like 30K.
Brian Green always a fun player to watch. This man loves to play cards and is not trying to grind it out silently. He's going to let you know his opinions and also his bankroll very quickly. Not scared to put it in the middle, any two. Glad he's in the mix once again.
Heck yeah. All right, looking into the chat to see who else is hanging out with us here this evening. We got Raina, we got Frank. What's going on, y'all? We got Hui Wen, Poker Monkey, of course. Hello, Corey, Maddox, Angela.
Afraid to do it.
Kicker Problems again. We got Arash. What's going on? Amal. How y'all doing tonight? Mo the Cat hanging out with us as well. I haven't seen you in the chat yet. Let your name be known as we get started with our first hand of 2-card, and we're starting things off hot. Mid game in action.
So you wouldn't probably have to show your hand and put a button.
So for those that don't know,
we're not playing yet.
Wait.
We're waiting for Ram to get here because you should be.
Oh, excuse me. JD's saying they're waiting.
That makes sense. Yeah, Ram going to be coming into the 4 seat over there, so they'll wait for him to come on in before they get started with the Nick game. Wouldn't want him to miss out on any of the hands, but yeah, there we have it.
You're the 50 in the game. 25, 50. Oh, there it is. It's hiding. It's hiding.
Jeremiah, Queen 9 in the hijack. Buying in for a cool 20K. First time I'm seeing this person as well. Might be new to the stream, or maybe I'm just... He's been played other streams and I haven't seen. Brian Green calling the 125 with the Ace-5.
Oh, a lot of fresh faces here, all things considered. I have definitely not seen most of these players, so this is going to be a fantastic night. Very much looking forward to seeing some new play.
Love it.
Some new strategies. Let's go.
6-6 deuce, flop 2 diamonds. Brian Green with a little bit of life with backdoor diamonds, but clubs come in for Jay. 10 high flush draw. Jay decides to check, which maybe you see some players barrel, but King probably hits Jeremiah more often. Ace for Brian Green.
That's why I was in Midland for a couple
Yeah,
years.
already a couple of streets here where I think Jeremiah has the pre-flop better. Oh, he's got 9-7, not Queen 9, so we had a misread there.
Corey
Brian
Maddox.
You're just going to take it down with the river pair of aces.
Sorry. Corey Maddox saying, Jeremiah played on stream before. He's doing an online bankroll challenge trying to turn 50K into 200. He's currently at 190. Wow.
I live in Amarillo, but half
GL.
I didn't get to post my thumbnail, so it was
from around there.
Big pharma, huh?
That's pretty cool. I've always thought that those bankroll challenges where you start with a certain amount and grind it up is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So let me know here in the chat there, Corey, is he strictly a cash game player, or was that 50K so that he could play tournaments as well, or what?
Oops. All good.
Excuse me? Oh, I'm rolling. Great. I just got a new card. Doesn't that come with like 10 hours to begin with?
Adam here in the cutoff. Queen 10 off. Coming for a raise over to M. Dindy in the big blind. Going to release the 10, 8 suited?
Yeah. Let me know what you think about it.
Well, me.
I feel like
Wish I'd have known how to
I'm going to defend that hand.
Yeah.
Again, the fact that we had a misread there right off the bat is not a good sign, but I'm gonna go with the graphics here until we're proven otherwise. But it looks like these players are enjoying some libations as well. Look at that.
Always a sign of a good game when you're starting out at 6 p.m. Having a little bit of libation station.
All right, Corey here says mostly cash, some MTGs. Alrighty.
All these chips are in play, bro. You don't know that by now. You're not paying attention.
Stu Unger Garments. I love that name. Yep, that's him over there. So see if he can put the flowers to work. Paolo here going to put the birds to work. Number 1 here in the low jack. Makes it 150 to go. Brian Green going to make the call. Jay now going to squeeze from the button. Only 3x here with an open and a call in between. So relatively small sizing here from Jay. Typically going to go a little bit bigger with all of your hands, but Jay here also buying in a little bit shorter than some of his opponents, so that could factor in a little bit. Back to Paolo here with the birds. Number 1, pocket aces. Time for a 4th bet. And that'll send Jay to the exit. All right, Mr. Delivery here in the chat says Jeremiah is a high-stakes online end boss. Okay, very good.
Nice.
Oh, and Corey says that J-Dub had a card flipped up on the first hand, and it was a queen. So, yeah, we had the misread on what his hand would have been had the queen not been switched out for a new card. Okay, all right. Well, we'll move forward with the expectation that our graphics will be mostly correct.
Clearly, we're out of the loop since everyone knows that Jeremiah is a high-stakes online inbox.
Well, now we're in the loop.
Now we are in the loop. Best of luck, Jeremiah, although it sounds like you don't need it if you're the computer.
So I guess there may be flowers in there for sure, but there's also just tigers, I think. It's, the tigers are the most prominent thing that I'm seeing on that shirt, but pretty baller nonetheless.
We saw some of those at the zoo, the Dallas Zoo recently. Pretty good times seeing tigers in real life. Despite your opinions about zoos, it's fun for us.
Yeah, always a good thing for the kiddos, for sure.
100%.
All right, Paolo here, top pair, no kicker. Jay with a 7-high flush draw. JD here is already out of the hand as he had effective 4th pair.
200 and a call, Paolo. Pot control, check calling, top pair, pretty coordinated board. Now things get even more interesting for both players. Hearts for Paolo, pair and a flush draw for Jay. Probably going to barrel.
Always nice to have improvement on the turn. Definitely gives you additional outs going into the river. And if you bet and get raised, you can call. Whereas if you just bet the naked flush draw and get raised, oftentimes, depending on the size, you're actually going to get priced out. So definitely a good card for him. However, bricks out for Jay. Bingo bango for Paolo. He's going to check the river as he backs into the nuts. A nut flush, I should say, as the board does pair. Jay here is going to give it up, take his showdown, and hope that his opponent somehow just has like 10-9 of spades or something that played it slow, and he can beat it. But that is not the case. Paolo will ship $2,200 pot.
I'm always curious to know what causes kind of a multitude of new faces showing up on any one stream. Often you see mostly regulars week over week, but it looks, I don't recognize at least 3 of these guys, which is very cool. I wonder if Mallory did a little bit of outbound marketing to the field. Be curious to know about if they're switching things up on how to
So JD, did you
staff
tell him to put my name as
each night's stream. Brian Green poker with
I didn't just get it.
Ace Jack
I changed it.
200.
JD was over there running shit.
No. You need a headphone for that.
Paolo, J7, raise and take it.
All right, TCH players, it's about time for
I told him to put you as Brian motherfucking Green. You didn't like that, so. Change your Instagram handle, you know? Maybe Twitter. Change your Twitter. There you go.
All right, so Ram here going to be sitting down in the 4-seat when he arrives, and we are waiting to start the net game until he gets here. But in the meantime, we got the quarter 50 on. No straddles as of yet. Even Brian Green here, who is always good for a straddle, thought he might lead things off with the 100 right up front. But going to take it easy here for a little bit. However, he will come in for a raise, 200 to go, queen 8 of hearts. After a cascade of folds, Paolo here on just hand number 7 has already seen aces and now kings. And facing an under-the-gun raise from the deepest stack at the table, it is time to put in a third bet and see if we can build this pot up.
It's so infrequent for Brian Green poker to fold to a 3-bet pre. He hates to fold pre. And feels a little weak, so maybe it's too early in the night for him to go full Brian Green.
And then I think the lodge did the buttons.
Paolo's a pretty strong player, and I think there's some respect there from Brian Green. He'd rather pick spots against maybe the newer players.
Hey, you played in Austin at one time. Remember?
Although that's just me speculating.
Is he your friend?
Yeah, friend of mine.
The one you're talking about? The one you're talking about?
Yeah.
How's your poker been going, Mr. McAvoy? Namesake of the great.
Standing. This is gonna like stand on
Well, now it's escaping me. Dang it. Is it Greg McAvoy?
Oh, Tom McAvoy.
Tom
The,
McAvoy.
yeah. The old school
This is a more accurate representation.
player that, is main event winner. Yep.
Had some books in the past.
Sure did. No, my poker is not going quite as well as that. Did book a small win today before the stream here, so that's always nice.
Oh, good.
But yeah, a little bit of sideways action here as of late. You know, you kind of go through the ebbs and the flows. Sometimes it feels like you can't win a hand. Other times you can't lose. And then there are those times where you're just like, huh, another break-even session. Like I made $8 or I lost $22 or whatever. And you're like, I played for hours and like that's it again, you know? So not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, just a little bit of chop in the water, and that's about it.
Such is the life of a poker professional like yourself. Or however you classify yourself.
Yeah, like what do you mean by ante? Like just big blind ante or like hustler?
A person.
550 ante?
A live person.
That's right. I am alive and I am breathing, and I like to play poker.
Right. Titles. No need to put titles on everything.
Somebody ante. I think the hustler ante structure would be interesting to try
Straddle.
sometime.
Which one's that?
Straddle.
I mean,
It's 5-5. Yeah, put a $50 ante out there.
So things are coming down to the wire here for you and
something like way bigger than.
Yeah, so
your
you can
newest
look for
child
five,
coming
where you
along.
can like
Gosh,
do
yeah,
under.
it's like 6 weeks away or something. We were doing the math this weekend and had somewhat of a panic attack.
I have no idea.
Even though it's our second one, it's just you know for a fact there's a life-changing event coming, and you're just having to exist until then.
Yeah, you
It's
can open anything. So
not the easiest thing to do in the world, and just kind of waiting is
You could open
not my favorite. But we are also excited, and
Yeah.
got some good progress done with the second nursery in our house since our first child is still in a crib and all that. So no real estate to be had for the adults in our house. It's all going to the babies.
The price you pay for multiplying.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Well, congratulations to you guys, and
Thank you.
yeah, really, really excited for you guys to bring a new life into the world. And wow, would you look
Thank
at
you,
this
thank you.
turn card, bringing a lot of life into both these cards, as Brian Green and JD both going to spike the
Gosh,
nipples
like
here on
both-
the turn.
Both players, when they see this, are going to have to be like, how on earth does he also have King 10 exactly? And we drill the gutter to the nuts.
Oh, and this is a good way to get a lot of chips in the middle here. JD going to bet 1,000 into 675, so a 1.5x over bet. Brian Green now going to hammer this for 3.4K, and JD cannot believe his luck. Also has the 10 of diamonds as a blocker, so not possible for him to be getting free rolled.
It'd be interesting if it goes call here and the river comes either a spade or a diamond, and either player sets themselves up to potentially take it. Well, as I'm talking about it, that would be turning her straight into a bluff, which I don't think makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I mean, you already don't see a lot of
Yeah.
3 bets like on any street other than
Right.
pre-flop. So JD here in position, just happy to make the call. This is, of course, one of his least favorite rivers to see, as it does bring in the backdoor spade flush. If it had been a diamond, he really wouldn't be that concerned. But the spade does indeed lead to a little bit of concern. Of course, he can't fold, and he will make the call. No slow roll of the chop, though. It's just a clean little bet of 4,400. JD makes the call, and we'll chop it up.
If you remember, Mr. McAvoy really enjoys the chop slow roll, if I remember.
That's
from the
right.
previous
That's
session. A missed opportunity for the local favorite, Jay Diggles.
Harbs here in the chat correctly saying that King 10 of spades does free roll him. That's exactly right, but you know, at least he blocks one of the free rolls. Whereas if he had just like the King 10 of hearts or clubs or something, he could be quite a bit more concerned. But blocking 50% of those is a pretty positive thing for him.
Nothing, I had 20 deep and I had 19, but you just replaced it with that.
You want to splash it?
But thank you for posting that in the chat, and always welcome everybody's comments, any suggestions or observations about the quality of the stream or anything that we can do better in the future. So happy to have you guys here hanging out with us, and always do feel free to blow us up in the chat. And if we see something that we want to interact with, we will do so.
Encouraging words only. Gassing up of the commentators required. Thank you in advance.
All right, JD made a tidy $25 on that last hand with King 10 after he put nearly 10K in the pot, so he's going to come after it again. The $100 straddle out there. Make it too bitty.
Yacht Club completing with the 4-5 suited. Heart in the door looks good. Ace of hearts as well. And Mr. Delivery says, I've got some observations about the quality of this stream. Nobody encourage him. Nobody enable him.
Yeah, I could be so chill.
Pairing a straight draw for JD.
I could probably ideally
Standard C-bet.
my time between like some cabin.
Yeah, these are always weird spots when you're in Yacht Club's position. You're out of position with flush draw, but on a board where your opponent is just always going to have, the range advantage. So you don't really ever get to take over the betting lead until, bingo, you hit your flush right on the turn and hope that JD does bet one more time. He does not, and now going into the 6 of clubs on the river. Yacht Club here can still play it both ways. He is going to opt for the check.
Wow.
I don't really know the areas.
Yeah, I do think that a big chunky bet there is in order. You're either going to end the hand with some sort of like Jack 10, King 10, some sort of hand like that you're going to kind of squint at a little bit and be like, maybe I can get an ace to fold if I really blast this. And simultaneously, you're going to have some really strong hands like flushes. So would have liked to see him potentially go for the big lead there. 2x pot, something up that alley. But opts just to check and see if his opponent will bet a good ace or perhaps a 2-pair that check the turn. Doesn't get that value, though.
Oh, well, what's it called then?
I forget what it's called. Do you know
All right, Corey here saying that me and he are going to make a final table this upcoming month because I'm a good tournament player. Well, thank you very much for that. Definitely gasses me up a little to hear that.
Let's
and
go.
Let's do it, man. I am ready.
Like Cato or?
There you go, Cato.
Jay, Ace King suited. This is how you make final tables right here. Ace King of diamonds with it versus a button open. That looks like a 3-bet. There's a 1K under there.
Is it better or worse than the man-made lakes?
In Dindy,
It
Ace
looks
9
kinda
suited
interesting, though.
in a
Looks kinda
pinch.
like- I mean, if we're-
We'd love to see a flop, but probably a wise fold. Facing a
That's what
raise and a
I'm saying. It seems like
re-raise.
the natural like should like be more likely to be like dirtier and nastier than the man-made.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks
It's
cool
probably,
to go
probably
check
prettier
out.
to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has it has like trees growing out of it.
Jay's going to take it down.
Okay.
It looks like really cool for like.
Paolo up top, plus 2,200. Jay after that pot, only down
Yeah.
1,500. Lots of poker to be played tonight. We're here until 10 p.m. tonight.
Want to see a flop?
Me too.
Tons of poker. Tens, if not 50s of hands, maybe even over 100 hands.
I mean, you
Playing
usually
live poker after all.
Tom, did he say he'd be here?
This is usually an efficient group, and a team of efficient dealers.
Absolutely.
He's usually pretty good about.
All right. Love to see this. We've made it one orbit through, and the $100 straddle seems to be sticking.
Oh yeah.
Unless we run into some spots around the table that are not interested
still
in
haven't even
continuing
changed
that.
that
we
from
may
last
just have that for the remainder of the evening.
Like 5 minutes.
Adam here with a couple of ducks. Gonna raise it up to 2 1/4. Jeremiah here now with the decision to defend his straddle. The king 7 off, he does indeed. And heads up to a flop we go. Always awkward when you have pocket deuces. Similarly with pocket 3s, 4s, etc. You just see so many of these boards where you're like, well, I might just be ahead, and if I bet and he folds out any overcard equity, that's great for me. But yeah, you bet and you get called, and you're like, okay, well, this sucks now. So checky, and a harmless little 6 of diamonds here on the end. Jeremiah will finish with the best hand, and
What's up, Ron?
looks to be going for a block size. 250 quarter pot here.
I wouldn't be surprised if Adam found a call, given the nature of the board, and he does. Value Town, and this is why he's the end boss. Jerry Dubb, headed to 200K. First one of the night for him, up 325 US dollars.
Yeah, it always feels kind of bad to fold a pair when your opponent bets such a small amount on the river, but it almost feels like, especially when you get to this stake level. I mean, of course, players are going to recognize that if they can ever just bet that with their air, and people are going to sort of recognize it as value, that you could get some overfolds, but I don't know. It just always feels like every time I call a river bet that size, it just always show me that middle pair or whatever. I'm like, why am I calling?
You agree with that, Jay? You know that?
$200 for the Nick game.
Okay.
JD, it sounded like he was about to explain it, but if not, I'll explain it. Okay, everybody starts with that red button. This used to be called the stand-up game, but now it's just the nit game where you don't have to stand up. And every time you win a pot and show your cards, you get to relinquish your nit button, and the last person with a nit button in front of them has to pay each player $200. So you're incentivized to try to take down a pot early and often while also showing your cards at showdown, or if your opponents fold, so that you're not having to get yourself into overly bloated situations. So JD with the 2 jiggities already gets to give up his nit button. What a gift.
Oh, you got me.
I love getting rid of that right off the bat. As we look at the early standings here, Paolo up the most, up a little over 2K after winning a couple of hands, both with aces and with kings. Nice little start for him. Jay down the most, and also sitting on the shortest stack.
It's like Phil Helmers. It's like a Phil play.
Got a full game now. Rom sitting down in the mix.
Could have had aces, you know? But they're too risky.
And there's our very own Data working the room with the suit jacket once again. Taking a break from his commentating to do some real work, I guess. He does it all. Plays, deals, manages, commentates.
Heck yeah.
This guy does it all. mean, he's got to be spending 90% of his life at Texas Card House throughout the
That's
week.
dedication right there.
Yeah.
Yacht Club getting frisky on the button, and then Paolo here. He's already seen aces and kings. It's time for jacks. And man, life is good when you just get to 3-bet with the top of your range
right.
over and over and over.
Tried her best to cross me out. I mean, last time I was
Yeah, Yacht Club here, who had made it 325 as well, so a pretty good chunky size. Definitely.
That's not how this game's supposed to
I'll
work.
let that go.
It's working for me.
Satisfying results for Paolo and even for Yacht Club, knowing that he didn't get bluffed and got away from
you have to show your
battling against premiums.
I don't want this.
Pre-country.
But he would have preferred to get rid of his mid button.
Now, did you see how now, like, most people are charging the, like, if your neighbor tells you, they charge the, like, you get,
You gotta pay
I don't
them
know
a
most
fee.
places. I've only heard of that one time, and I thought that was really weird.
It's like a reminder fee.
yeah, like, if somebody, no, if somebody,
There should be a reminder fee.
no, if somebody tells you, then that person that tells you gets penalized by the whole time. That guy has to give everybody $100 for telling you.
Yeah, I feel like that's a weird thing. I mean, I get it.
That's pretty funny.
Discourages you from saying, hey,
Just
don't forget.
cutthroat knit game. Everyone pays,
Seriously.
or you follow the rules.
Ram here getting after it. Jay limps under the gun, so he pounces and raised it up to 600 to go now.
This
Over
is a
Paolo
common
with-
thing from Jay, doing some early limps. He just likes to play some cards,
You gotta pay with
and unfortunately, he's getting punished for that limp.
However, with Paolo calling in between, this isn't the worst spot in the world to complete. You are going to be playing out of position, and that always sucks, but anytime you have a suited ace, it feels pretty good to be in the hand. And was getting 3-1 on his money, would have been 2K in the middle. So definitely a spot where he could think about peeling it off and would have indeed flopped the best of it with the top pair, no kicker. As it stands, Paolo still out in front as the pre-flop caller. Ram here going to get to represent this flop all day long.
They were like, it's free if you're on stream. I was like, okay.
Would be nice.
That makes more sense. Nothing is ever free.
350 here from Ram. Paolo will make the call. Does have the 6 of clubs for a little bit of backdoor equity.
Someone's boss might be listening.
Straight draw for Rom.
Oh, I just realized that.
I'm just messing with you, dude. I was like,
I didn't want to get anyone fired.
no. I was just messing with
I'm taking his time, thinking about if he can take this down with the Jack of Spades turn. This feels likely. Quick fold.
Yeah, you love to see that. Recognizing that this is just his board, he can basically get all queens to fold that aren't queen jack, of course, or you know, any one pair holdings are just going to be in a lot of under a lot of stress there, given the texture of the board. It does pick up the gut shot as well on the turn, so that little bit of extra.
He shows his hand. He shows his
Keep
hand.
going for it.
Derek was talking to him. So.
I give him
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, yeah.
All right, 30
Yeah,
minutes
we
into the
pulled-
broadcast, 259 of you fine
We all got
folks hanging out with us.
penalized for pulling it for you.
Do appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have not had an opportunity yet to rear back and strike the like button with the force of at least 1,000 camels, we would appreciate it oh so much. And
Strike it.
helps us get this program out to more people so we can all enjoy each other's presence and enjoy this fine poker action.
Yacht Club raising it to 175 with King Jack. Jeremiah on button. Comes along with a call with Ace Deuce. Brian Green thinking thoughts with the Queen 4
Is Pooh back there with you too?
for a 3-bet. Here we go.
Pooh?
Small size 3-bet here from
Yeah.
Brian. He's Gonna be out of position against the pre-flop raiser and the in-between caller.
Tournament style squeeze gets one player out, and Ryan heads up with Yacht Club. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Top pair and a straight draw for Yacht Club. Brian Green. A little bit of something. Second pair. And a continue. Six of spades on the turn. Quick check from Brian Green. Slowing down a bit. Looks like Yacht Club bets 1.1. And it goes call.
Yeah, so pretty small bet there on the turn, sort of the 40%. Just trying to earn a pretty cheap showdown here, it seems like. And with the ace of spades on the end, yeah, Yacht Club just going to check behind. Happy to show his one pair hand and take it down. Get rid of the nit button. And we'll move right along. Hand number 17 with half the table already having relinquished their nit button.
$4,700 pot as a result of the nit game, a little bit. Brian Green really eager to take that one down to get rid of his button. Unfortunately, this is a pretty sizable one, like the Queen 4 ball.
Stories to them. Like, I'm Marvel movies would be okay.
You're not a big action movie guy, right?
Not action movies, but
With that pot, Yacht Club rises to the earnings leaderboard, 2,200 in the green. But a lot of poker to be played.
Taken was good. I like that.
All of his movies are sick.
We've seen Brian Green battle back from like a 25K, 30K hole to profitability, so he's not very worried about it.
I agree.
stories. So I got a space for that.
It is very mood-based, too.
All right,
Dindy,
Dindy
two
here.
sevens.
Yeah, taking it up to 150. Jeremiah here, who tried to get in there and see a flop with the ace deuce earlier. Not going to get in the mix with the 9-8-0.
There's a lot of remakes, right? But like, there are still a decent amount of original movies.
But Jay, of course, will come along with the pocket fives here.
Just action scenes are great.
It's just fine entertainment.
Yeah. I like to
But going to be tough to continue here with this board texture.
You know what a surprise? The newest one, the one that was like the Born Legacy, or like with a different guy in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that was even good. Like I was surprised. I didn't expect it to be good. I thought, they're going too far, but it was actually
Dindy
pretty good.
bets, shows the sevens, and to relinquish his button.
At the end, but yeah, that was still good. But still like
But we'll see if he forgets to put in his button, which may be a cause for mutual charging.
Everything all at once.
Oh, how long do they let him sit? So this is an interesting.
I think I got like 10 Oscars.
Yeah,
dealer
Ram here
saved
keeps
him.
looking at it too.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Oh, see, that's
That was the awesome one.
a point for Brian Green's structure.
As long as they show their hand, it's good.
I think they won like a lot of Oscars.
Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting when you have these sorts of games where the intention is to drive the action, but then also everybody's like very competitive. So it's like, oh, well, we ought to have, ways to prevent people from,
Does it have Lucy Liu?
just sort of playing the game sloppily. Like, you need to be on your A game, you need to be on point. But in situations like this, especially like, we've got some players at the table that I think, this may be their first time playing the net game, for example.
Right.
I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying that that's possible. You don't really want to just be like going after people and be like, oh, you didn't do it while your cards were on their back, and this guy had to tell you, and blah blah blah. It's just it should be about having a good time and enjoying the extra action that the game is driving, not necessarily about tearing each other apart. And that's my opinion. Anyway.
And you're entitled to that.
Why, thank you. Top and bottom pair here on the turn for Brian Green, but there are 4 clubs on board, so going to be tough for either player to really feel too strongly about their holdings. Brian does bet, wins the pot, releases his nit button, and I think there are only 3 remaining.
3.
Yes.
Could I get
Jeremiah,
a Thank you.
Jay,
Yeah, just the way you made it.
and Adam
Adam.
in
Yes,
the 9
nine.
seat. Yeah.
Everybody
Once you go down to
else,
points like
I
that.
think he's okay, probably.
I'm okay right now.
And now the pressure is on.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but only 3 left. Wait, do you still have your button? Oh my
yeah.
god, I thought I was heads up.
No.
Oh, okay, thank god. There's 3 of us.
100's on. Big poker game. JD. Queen 9 of spades. Maybe worth an open.
It's funny how that happened. Everybody else had a hand.
You know what happened
Yeah,
last time?
absolutely
That's what
is.
JD always says, because he
250
always
to
loses
go.
the Nick game. And he says it's really just whoever runs the worst.
Jay with the
Jay.
KJ.
Most likely it is.
Yeah,
It is
stack
gonna be
dwindling a little bit.
It's like the worst card distribution and like,
Which makes
one
it
that's, like, step way
more
out of
difficult
bounds.
to navigate post flop when you have these sort of middling hands out of position. But Jay is still sitting on his nit button, so he would love to see a flop here if he could just get the blinds to only call or fold, but that is not going to be the case. M. Dindy here waking up with the ladies and putting in the squeeze.
Get stacked and then they just dip and don't pay.
Big squeeze to 1100.
I've seen it on 2 separate occasions.
I think it was 1350 actually.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
They got stacked though. Like both times they got stacked. I think they lost all their money.
yeah.
Like,
And yeah, given the fact that this is JD's under the gun open, the call in between from the small blind definitely doesn't scream strength, but yeah, understandable to just release the queen 9 there. You definitely could sort of think about calling, knowing that the small blind is very likely to only call behind,
Y'all were tied.
and you'd get to play that one in position, but also very understandable to just release the queen 9 suited there. Just it looks like you're going to be barking up the wrong tree.
Well, at least the guy got stacked.
They're also probably, in fairness to them, probably not even thinking about at that point.
VPIP, for those that don't know, voluntarily put in pot. It's a measurement of how often each of these players is voluntarily putting money in the pot, either by raising, betting, or calling. Or at least raising or calling. Yeah, raising, betting, or calling.
Yeah, pre-flop, yeah.
Pre-flop, yeah.
And you want me to pay you guys?
Oh, M. Dindy with the horseshoe this hour. Queens and then the Cowboys.
And it's funny because everyone, probably like 10-20 if it's only like 100 person, everyone's getting like themselves.
Yeah,
so little
one
that
thing
there's
that
not a big incentive to be like,
definitely
"Hey,
factors
sir."
in here, especially we've talked about this from time to time since the Nick game has been in
guy just
effect
got
here the last
stacked.
couple of weeks. When you have
Yeah, it's
everybody at the table still with their nit button, you know, raises and things like that are still given a lot of credit for just like generally being pretty strong hands, or at least normal raising ranges. You don't really think of people just getting too out of line. As the number of nit buttons still out on the table dwindles down to, you know, 3 or 2, you know, the players that don't have a nit button are going to be given that same credit, but the players with the nit button, of course, are going to be given credit for wanting to get rid of that thing. So you start to think that their range is going to be a lot wider. And, you know, it always sucks, like, if you get your pocket kings, your pocket aces, or whatever, and you don't have your nit button anymore, you're like, oh, man, like, you know, if only I had my nit button, someone could definitely give me credit for just having some total airball here, or like re-raising me, or at least calling me light or something. But, you know, you have a spot like that where you put in the squeeze, everybody folds. You know, it's like, not worth it. Pocket pair after pocket pair after pocket pair. M. Dindy this time with the sailboats.
2 4s. Golly. Yacht Club might not stand for it. Can't take it any longer. 10-7 suited.
Don't hate the idea here. These suited 2-gappers, you mix these in, attacking a button open. I mean, I like the concept.
6 blue.
This squeeze size, though, is relatively small. So M. Dindy here, if he is ever just like opening the button wide, you know, imagine something like 6-9 suited. Like this raise is just not going to get 6-9 suited probably to fold. It's just like, why not? You know, I get to play in position. It's not that much more.
And it comes King Deuce 3.
Yeah, and importantly, no club out here, so no backdoor equity here. Yacht Club with effectively, in his mind, sort of a zero equity type holding. But the king is a favorable card and shouldn't be too many deuces or threes in his opponent's range unless it's exactly pocket deuces or pocket threes. So certainly would advocate for continuing, and he does for this small size. And Dindy, though, with effective second pair here, yeah, definitely can't go folding to a single bet. So Yacht Club here going to need to improve with a 7 or a 10, or perhaps just continue barreling to take this one down on later streets. But with 3,000 in the middle here, Yacht Club with a decision.
Straight draw for Dindy, but and the option.
New Orleans.
Ian,
Oh, excuse me. I thought it
question.
already said options. Go ahead.
We're going to go...
Ian, I see your question here in the chat. I'll come back to that here after the hand.
crash a trip with my mom and sister. And maybe hit up the New Orleans Jazz Festival for a day or two.
Check back over to Dindy with the pair in the straight draw, thinking about
Oh,
his
it'll be an epic jazz festival.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's
options.
Like, it's been running for like 50-something years.
Yeah, that's probably
New
one of the
Orleans
biggest.
Jazz and Heritage Festival.
Food, of course. One of the premier food cities.
It's a jazz festival. They got like a bunch of different stages and stuff, right?
2,300 is the bet from Dindy. Dindy, and gets a fold.
So I think like their headliner for like Friday is,
$5,200
like,
pot.
something, like,
Dindy continuing his hot streak. Well played, sir. Since I'm the authority on what well played or hands being well played are. So take that for what it's worth, Dindy, but
Really? New Orleans.
great job.
No,
man.
oh, okay, sorry.
Welcome to the
New
stream.
Orleans. Haven't been to the jazz festival. We've only been to New Orleans once. We came
Not
for
sure
like
what it is,
2 or
but
3 days, like 2 days or anything.
right towards the end of my session up
That
there,
was probably 10 years ago.
just started. Pardon me.
I went
Getting
a couple times
all
because
kinds
there's
of,
like a tournament out there, and so I was like, oh,
Sneezes going on.
go check it out.
I don't
Let's
know
Oh, no.
whatever.
I'm like allergic to something
Never
or
actually decided.
something in the air. I don't know exactly what it was, but anyways, do apologize. I may be sneezing here repeatedly as I'm getting the tickle in my nose again.
If you started the shuffle, complete the hand, blinds are up 200, 300, 300.
Brian Green here raising this up. Jeremiah from the first straddle is going to make the call.
Making a run at the knit button. Quick check over to Brian Green, who is happy to take the betting lead. Yikes. Brian Green, you'll see, is the type that when check 2 is happy to take one stab basically every time. And that time it worked
I
out.
went to New Orleans the first time I stayed with this like, bed and breakfast. It was like an historic bed and breakfast. And the only thing I remember was that the bed was like literally the hardest bed I've ever
Really?
slept in my life. Like we were like almost like seriously like we ended up sleeping on top of like the comforter and everything because we were trying to get like as much cushion as possible.
That was by
Sounds
design.
awful.
I
JD.
guess. I don't know. I guess.
He likes a good
There's no
mattress,
change
not a
there.
hard
Well,
mattress.
I mean, I
As
think
the
it's just how, like,
$100 and $200 straddles
like,
come
the bed's,
on.
like, better for your back.
Now we're playing poker,
No one
folks.
likes it better like that.
Is that a straddle?
When I stayed in Greece the first year, Airbnb was like that.
Talking about New Orleans, if I remember correctly, you had some success in New Orleans back in the day.
Sure
Hey,
did,
Ron.
yeah. Yeah, just about 4 years ago, kicked off my sort of poker career with a very fine showing over a couple of weeks down there. Yeah, that was one hell of an experience, I will tell you what.
I love all my family's from New Orleans. Not many gamblers in the family, but I love that Harris down there. It's such a good time. It's like you are guaranteed to be running into some thoroughly libated gentlemen and gentlewomen that come off of bourbon and want to hit the tables. I mean, it's just always wild in there.
We both had the Broadway.
I got those colorful New Orleans themed chips.
Yeah.
Love it down there.
How does that factor in on the nick?
I never win, but it's always a good time.
Doesn't count.
I was
You gotta scoop it.
expect to win, and I'm usually disappointed.
Whoever wants the first board.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that. Yeah, it is funny when you have like particular venues that treat you better than others, you know?
Right.
for those of us that have done a little bit of traveling for tournaments and things of that nature, it does feel like sometimes you go to a stop and you're like, all right, this is the time I turn it around, because like every time you've been there before, you just get waxed. And usually it just kind of stays that way,
He's going.
Like, I know this is illogical, that this establishment does not have a bias against me.
Get rid of that thing.
Yet for some reason, when I play at the Orleans, I crush. But when I play at the Wynn, I get domed.
All right, JD here with the pre-flop lead and a favorable flop for his range. Go ahead. Go ahead. He go aheads and he bets and he wins.
Defense.
Perfect.
So Jeremiah and Jay battling knit buttons. Adam as well. Still three-way action for the knit game.
I like your variation of the 7-deuce game that you proposed that one time, where it's like you the last one to fold, and then the table loses 7-deuce, you have to pay an extra penalty.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah. The
If you're the one that folds.
extra
Yeah, like if
jab.
your head's up in the pot and then like you fold,
Yeah.
you end up in versus the 7-deuce, like and they have it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Fun unless you're the recipient of that punishment.
Yeah, because you probably you definitely either just got bluffed by 7-deuce.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or like defeated by 7-deuce. Like that, that could be even more demoralizing than just having someone like show you the 7-deuce and get paid the bounty after they bluffed you. It's like, you get into some crazy like 4-bet pot pre-flop with ace king, and it's like ace 7-5, and then there's just somehow randomly a deuce in there, and you end up losing this big pot in 2-pair, and you're just like, what the hell just happened? And you have to pay him the bounty, like.
Rom facing a 3-bet from Jeremiah, and Rom definitely knows that Jeremiah can be light in this position, given that he's one of the 3 remaining knit button holders. With ace-5 suited, probably considered 4-betting, but decides to just call.
I can't remember the gentleman who was playing right there.
Honestly, a really good spot to put it in 4-bet, but doesn't elect to do it.
Jeremiah flopping the king-high straight.
I can't believe Kyle folded. Especially with like the extra that was like that was like 300 again.
Out pot continue here.
1 into 2.
And if Ram had a spade out there, I could definitely see him peeling one off, but it's just not a good spot.
Yeah, drawn super thin too. 2 10s, but he does call. Here's le board.
It's actually a really good card for Ram. Like, I wouldn't have hated to see him lead here if his plan had anything involving more than just like hitting the 10 and then somehow winning the hand. Like, of all the cards that could come besides the 10, a jack is probably a really, really good one.
September, maybe?
Jeremiah here, going to keep his foot on the gas for a
It's like a quarter.
size.
No, 3,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Knit.
Nice.
He's in the clear.
Yeah.
Heads up.
Yeah, Jeremiah there, he's like, yeah, I mean, you can have some 2 pairs that just build up, but, bet 3,000 there. And even if you do have a really strong hand, you're going to feel like, oh, that's a big bet. Maybe I just call and then check to him again on the river. And, you get that free showdown, or at least you paid for your showdown there. But Ram does release, and now it's down to Jay and Adam. Still with the nip button.
Haven't heard much from either. Rom, in any other instance, might be tempted to play the king 7, but gets out of the way. Yacht Club queen 7. Not here to fold. Jay would love to have a playable hand as Brian Green's got ace-6 suited. Who calls?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think it really matters what Jay sees at this point, given the action. Yeah, I would literally call any 2 cards here at the bare minimum, you know.
Yeah, I guess for a certain price.
Yeah, for the 275, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not folding 7 deuce off though, just because you have the equivalent of what, it's 200 per person, right? So
Yep.
a swing of $1,800 if you win this hand. So you need to get in there for 275 for sure, given the fact that you've already got 50 invested from the big blind.
Quite the flop for Brian Green, and now the turn makes things very interesting for Yacht
I'll show you
Club.
guys. 2, 4, 6, 8.
Double gutted with diamonds for Yacht Club is Brian Green flopping top pair and the nut flush draw, or the ace high flush draw.
And now Jay here under 5K, and he is going to release his top pair no kicker for just $400. Thinks to himself, well, there's too many players in here.
Shrewd fold.
My hand is very unlikely to be good, or even if it is good, likely to be drawn out on by the river.
Clubs for Brian Green, Yacht Club with a queen high straight. How about a price, Brian Green? $1,500.
Seems to me that this is a price that you kind of just have to pay off. It is on the larger side, but you can definitely be chopping. And yeah, Yacht Club does indeed settle on the call. Finds out the bad news, and Brian Green going to ship a nice little $4,700 pot here, and that ought to move him up into the profit zone. It does indeed by about $300.
$300 Taco Bell run for Mr. Green. Not too shabby for the 5th place finisher of the big one for one drop.
Perfect card.
A lot of tournament poker coming on down here in the Austin area over the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to be a busy man.
Oh, really?
A lot of
I knew there was some
tournaments
Houston action. Is some series going on in Austin as well that I should know
Indeed,
about?
there are, yeah. So a lot of poker here in the Austin area over the next 3 weeks, really. So should be a lot of fun, and hopefully have some run good, get something going here as we come into the WSOP season out in Vegas. Of course,
Oh, yeah.
always feels good to come into WSOP with a recent score, so that you go in there and you get coolered in your first couple of 1,500 buy-ins. You're down 5K right away. You're like, oh, well, that's awesome. At least that way, you've got
Free rolling a bit, both psychologically and financially. 2 ladies for Jay. This is an ideal spot. Jay would love to not lose the knit game first rotation at the big game. 2 ladies in hand, facing a raise and a re-raise.
Yeah, he's got that awkward stack size that really just doesn't give him a lot of flexibility to put in a cold 4-bet and then play the hand sort of standardly.
Right.
But yeah, he's basically just gonna put most of his stack in now, and I guess just kind of hope for the best. I feel like this is a jam or a fold. Anytime you bet more than half your stack pre-flop, it's basically a jam already. Anyways, it's like, can you fold on any flops? Like, probably not. So
Showdown.
I don't know. That one's a little bit curious. It is Adam here still thinking. So Jay here perhaps sizing this to just the right amount where it's like, well, he may have a hand that's crap, but if he factors in the nit game, may actually commit chips well behind. And indeed, Adam is thinking this through. He's doing the math right now. I mean, Jay may have actually played this brilliantly to get him to have Adam come along here.
Yeah, he still has not thrown his hand in.
Awesome.
I mean, Adam knows that there's $1,800 more in the middle, right? Like, this pot is actually $5,800, and he has to call 2K to see the flop.
I mean, if I lose the hand, I still have to pay the 1,600. So I guess I'd have to fold.
I need to see some
Are you
hands.
serious?
Yeah, there we go. Queens on their back, so he'll at least get to see that and be like, yeah, no, I was basically toast, but
Yeah, what a spot for Adam to be in.
What a great game.
What?
Yeah, but if you call him,
10 high.
you're going to lose him because he's not going to fold for it.
all right, do want to do a quick little shout out here for the Las Colinas Texas Card House. Going to be opening here in just a week and a half. Wednesday, May 3rd at 9 a.m. going to be the opening, the grand opening of TCH Social in Las Colinas. A lot of you guys in the Dallas area have been waiting for this announcement, have been waiting for this new venue to open. The time is now, and it is coming up here real soon. So very much looking forward to that. If you are around and can make it to the grand opening, 9 a.m. Wednesday, May 3rd, we would love to see you out there.
So it's 600 more effective.
And I've just been told that you won't need a separate membership if you're a member of Dallas Texas Card House to play at the Las Colinas Texas Card House, which is a fun update.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool because there's you just have one card now for both locations where you can swipe in at either location. So I also presume that not only do you not need a separate membership, but that your hours will be useful between. Yeah, indeed.
Confirmed.
You do have confirmation that time that you have banked up will be usable at both locations. So that is really convenient.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick here. So I know Ian Hilson had asked a little while ago, what is the rules for the knit game? And we just saw that the knit game come to its end. Everybody starts with a knit button. If you win a hand and show your cards, you get to release your knit button or give your knit button to the dealer. And the last player that still has a knit button must pay a penalty to every other player at the table, and in this case it was $200 per person. So we saw there at that last hand between Jay and Adam, that Adam was the only remaining player with the knit button, so he had to pay everybody the $200.
Tournament dealers, if you started the shuffle complete hand, blinds are up 200, 400, 400.
I think I've lost several times. But Eric Person is usually at the table, and he just went
Thinking One Respect here in the chat says thinks that they're excluded from gambling. Well, you just may not have enough points to gamble. So instead of just going gamble all, go ahead and do what some of the other people are doing in the chat. Check your points by doing exclamation point points, and it'll show you how many of the Streamlab points you have, at which point you can see if you're eligible to gamble. You must have 10 points. So continue chatting, hanging out with us, and you'll build those points up in no time.
Who's the host?
It's like 3 or 4 dudes.
Oh, okay.
It's like 3 or 4 dudes. Maybe 5. There's like a hierarchy of hosts, though. It's like
All right. We had some issues there with that hand, but we are moving along.
But it ends up being
Here's
like
a little bit more information for y'all about the grand opening at Las Colinas. We've got some different promotions all throughout that first opening week. We got 9 hours for $99 with 2 maximum purchases per day, so load up on cheap hours. The first 500 guests that walk through the door, they're going to get 2 for 1 time, up to $1,000. So buy 500, get 500.
Nice.
That is a pretty fantastic deal right there. Also going to have some complimentary menu tastings while supplies last, so you'll get a little bit of an idea about what is on the menu. Because anybody that wasn't aware, the Las Colinas location, full bar and restaurant.
Let's
so
go.
pretty fantastic setup there. Going to be amazing. Really looking forward to stepping in there myself. And to kick everything off, that first weekend, Sunday, May 7th, going to be day 2 of the $250K guaranteed tournament, $400 buy-in with opening day 1 flights starting on that very first day, May 3rd through the 6th. So come on down, hang out with us, get yourself a spot in the tournament, buy some cheap hours, get loaded up on food and drink, and have yourself a good time.
Yeah, it's exciting times in the world of Dallas poker to be expanding into a new location and giving customers the ability to maybe have more accessible poker instead of having to drive maybe from Fort Worth, or if you're just in West Dallas, more convenient location for them. It's awesome to have 2 in the DFW area. And we've got a real hand developing 3-way with 3 battling pairs, aces, V10s, V7s.
Yeah, Yacht Club here opting to just call with the pocket 10s and not go for his own
Oh, wow.
cold 4-bet.
Adam sick of folding tonight, continuing with his 7s, set mining a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he gets to play in position, but he realizes that it's unlikely for Yacht Club to have that strong of a hand. And Paolo can definitely be getting out of line here given the action. So definitely don't love this call, but at the same time I understand sort of the thought process behind it. Back over to Yacht Club here. He's only got a little under 8,000 remaining, but he's only committed $800 here, and this looks really strong between Adam and Paolo. So yeah, do you ever just stuff it in with the 10s, or you just fold? That kind of feels like your 2 options here.
Feels wise to fold the 10s, and he does. Big pot brewing, 13K effective. Let's play a huge one. Deuce 4-4. Uh-oh. 2 spades. Paolo's got to know he's got an opportunity to get paid by all inferior pairs, or most inferior pairs.
Yeah, Paolo does have that ace of spades as well, so it's going to sort of remove any of the ace X of spades type holdings from his opponent's range, but at the same time, does weight them towards a whole lot of those sort of middling pairs for sure. Although, I mean, all the way up to pocket jacks, right? Queens even. Does continue 1.8K. And Adam makes the call. Pot swelling here. Just about an SPR of 1, and it's a jack of spades here on the turn. Paolo does have the ace of spades, but of course his opponent did have pocket jacks. Spades, no good. But this is very much a spot where you're still thinking about value town.
Paolo got to rip it and ship it. 11K in the middle. Adam, not a fan. He's got the 2 7s in the back door, or the spades working, but he's got to know that he doesn't feel great about his position. Unless his opponent is like, yeah. Gets the fold and 22K or 6K in profit. Back over to Paolo. Paolo got a pretty serious stack now, 22,000. I've rarely seen Paolo make many missteps in my. It's not a huge sample of watching him play, but I'm impressed with his game so far over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, everyone listening out there, I'm very far from being the authority on good and bad play. Just as a fan of poker and having been doing this for a long time, what it feels like a long time at least, it seems like Paolo's got a solid game.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I think we've pretty much seen a lot of solid play here from these players this evening.
Yeah, again, not an easy game to sit down at tonight. Not a ton of loosey-goosey spots. You got to come with your A game and have deep pockets to stay above water in this game.
It's the truth. Raise the 250 here from Paolo, and Dindy going to make the call on the button. Yacht Club seeing a good price out there is going to come along from the small blind, sorry, the big blind. And Jeremiah closing the action though, not interested in seeing a flop with Queen 9-0. So here we go. 3 players to a flop, comes ace high with a couple of diamonds. There's 2 7s out there for Yacht Club.
I don't know why, Adam. I always thought you lived in Vegas.
No, you just see me there every time you see me.
Yeah,
But
I just see you there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. You see me all the time.
Yeah.
On the road.
Everywhere.
On the road.
Wait, are you American? Yeah. Oh.
Paolo continues for 300. Dindy going to make the call, and Yacht Club here
What? That make that okay. I don't know why I always thought you were from Europe.
going to raise this up.
You're not the first. A lot of
1100
Europeans
to
think I'm
go
from
now.
Europe too.
Kind of weird. I hear you. I got that one once in a while too.
Yeah, Paolo, of course, with the easy decision, but back over to M. Dindy here. And yeah, pretty much going to have to give Yacht Club credit for a 7 here almost all the time. Could be diamonds as well, but he just blocks that super hard. It's only like Queen Jack of diamonds that can maybe do that at this point.
Yes, yeah, he's definitely from Arkansas.
So definitely understandable for him to continue.
Arkansas 3 bits.
Yacht Club getting called here would be pretty pleased. 3.4K in the middle. Let's see how big he goes. Little over half pot, or yeah, right around there.
Do you remember this hand we played, Adam? Where
Kyle Z in the mix. Did you? I don't think you just read this. Kyle Z saying, Paolo the best in Dallas? Nope. Jeremiah W's in town.
I remember that.
Shots fired.
Oh, okay, that
Bang,
was
bang.
against you.
Yeah. You had like bottom pair or whatever. And check raise flop and then barrel.
Kind raise.
Yeah. The bomb pot. Did he get through?
No, he called one pair.
I called top pair.
I was value betting middle pair to get top pair. Damn it.
Dindy really in the tank.
Figure out if he can profitably make the call here,
I might call you with worse. You never know.
and he does opt to do so.
Now
So
it's a
half
jack of
pot side.
diamonds. Pairs the board, 3 of spades, 7's full for Yacht Club.
I think about that hand sometimes. Like, seriously.
4,600 into 7K.
So bored. Why did I feel like giving away all that money? I was really bored.
You lose to the right person.
That's true. Adam,
True. I did lose the nick game, so.
Rips it and ships it. Dindy with just king high. The nut, no pair, I guess. But I'd be very shocked. Very shocked.
Well, I mean, he's just playing the board, but yeah, it's
yeah, yeah.
it's a pretty spicy spot to think that your opponent is just shoving it all in there with busted diamonds, and you know, you could call for the chop. So yeah.
It's trying to generate some drama here.
Start in the middle. I don't know. You guys want to fire it up again? But
Yeah, he's just playing the board, dumbass.
It was still no pair because I mean he was
Because
playing the
any
two
no
on
pair
board and
was
the ace,
no
the whole
pair.
thing, you know.
You find your money when you got back? Did you find your 200 when you got back?
All right,
about how you
Ram
work
here
it.
has not gone to Showdown. Yacht Club pretty much exclusively goes to Showdown. We're seeing a pretty big polarization across
Adam over here.
that
lost,
statistic.
Lost the game. I lost everything. I lost every hand I played and the knit game. Yeah.
Welcome to the stage.
Rom with 2 8s on the button, 300.
The only thing I did win was the flip. Oh, that's a bad sign. See, when you win the first hand of the session, always a bad
Jeremiah,
sign. Yeah.
ace 7 suited, calls the 300, prices in Paolo for 200 more. 3 ways.
I feel like I have better sessions when I get stuck a little early than just like. I love getting stuck early.
Top pair for Jeremiah, back to clubs. Straight draw for Paolo. Here comes a 10.
No, but he's stuck like 15K now, so like, you know, plus the 2K, he's stuck like 17K. 15K feels like 100 in my head. It's like really raging.
Jeremiah here gonna dip a toe in the water just to kind of see how his opponents react. Oh, sorry, Paolo here betting 500. Jeremiah going to go for the check call.
Pretty hard.
And 10's full of aces here on the end. But yeah, another check in order, and Paolo here.
I learned that this year.
Pretty tough to rep anything here. You're just kind of thinking your opponent's going to have an ace a lot of the
I was
time.
trying to like, that's already your specialty. Yeah. I got away from it for a few months. It was really bad for me.
Jeremiah inducing a little bit of river bluff action.
Too thin there for a while.
Extra 1,500 if he can find a call.
I was getting pity texts from different people and stuff.
Yeah, this is a
Then I went
little
one session.
bit
They're like,
odd
"Alright,
if you're
that's fucking
Paolo,
left for
because
Barry."
even
They're
if
like,
you
"No, this
have
one's
an
up there."
ace, are you really going to bet it for 1,500? Given the fact that the board has run out potentially to create a quad situation or a royal flush even? I mean, like, does a weaker hand than a naked ace
fire it up
ever
again, or are
call?
we gonna
Like,
wait
does a
till the
jack ever
break,
call
or what?
1,500 there?
What do you guys
I
want?
just am not sure. That's a big bet.
I don't care. What time is it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could make it look bluffy or something or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting
You guys scared? Yeah?
interesting spot to go for the bluff.
Secret vote?
Well played by Jeremiah W. Reaching, basically tying for the top spot in earnings. And another fan of his in the chat saying, damn, y'all got Jeremiah on tonight? Dude's a crusher. Somebody link me some of his, like if he's on Twitch or something, if he's got a stream, I'd be interested to watch his content later on.
This time I want you to get at least queens.
I don't like being in the dark.
You guys can have the easy ones.
Ace 3 V7s to 300 from Brian Green.
That's big ace.
Cashman in the mix in the chat. Same with Kyle Z. Just waiting for their chance to play in the game tonight.
That was the one.
You're supposed to make 10K. That hand is.
I'm at least supposed to win the hand.
Yeah.
And like not having this button.
Some discourse about the just call on river. Sander thinks it's essentially the nuts.
Okay, no, Dindy, I see. You're a gentleman and scout.
Yeah, but no, for the same reason that you normally wouldn't even bet an ace if you're in position there, is the same reason that you wouldn't re-raise if you're Jeremiah. You may think that it's essentially the nuts because you really only lose to like pocket jacks, pocket aces, and a 10. And it's very unlikely for your opponent to have those. The thing is, though, that while it may be very unlikely for your opponent to have them, do they have a hand that can call if you bet if you're Paolo and if you raise if you're Jeremiah? And if the answer is that everything will fold except for the quads or the jacks full, then raising really doesn't do you any good, right? Like, you're basically negative free rolling yourself, right? Is the way to think about it. So while it may be a really, really strong hand, there's not very many hands that beat it. If you can never get paid by a worse hand, then betting or raising is just never a good one.
That's for the next like week, just grinding like fucking 18 hours a day.
Paolo here can finish with the best hand. If we get to showdown, very likely that we just go check, and we do.
Two of us speak English.
Nines are good. 7,000
Yeah.
in the middle there after we got a bunch of chips in
pre-flop.
He bet on the flop and then checks down.
Players, but they're like, they just had some fun with it, you know? Like,
Says he's got Jeremiah has 2 bracelets as well. Okay, now I'm looking at the Hinden mob.
We're starting at this game.
Interesting, yeah.
yeah, they're good, but like, but they're like fun.
Oh yeah.
Like, kneel
Okay,
each
so
other
if this
and
is
stuff, like, do weird things.
Jeremiah Williams, 156K live earnings.
At least it's fun.
First place in the 6 Max online, $500 buy-in in 2022.
Portuguese guy there is just there like a machine. I'm like,
So that's a bracelet. And then 1K 8 Max online, 2021 for 139K. Bracelet's a bracelet.
I like playing with Japanese guys. It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, the online
awesome.
fields, of course, going to play a much different style than the
I
live.
didn't have kings last time.
You know, you'll have the sort of turbo format of the online versus you know, grinding out for 3 or sometimes 4 or longer days trying to win a bracelet in the live events.
It looks like exclusively World Series online events he's played. And it doesn't look like he's fired, at least from this report, any live. So that's interesting. You don't see that very often, but very cool. He's got 2 World Series of Poker bracelets and over 150K in earnings. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. All right, Nick game back in effect. And here we go. Queen 7 deuce 2 tone. JD and Jay working with the bottom pair. Paolo here in the lead with effective 3rd pair of 3s. Brian Green here with a good chunk of the equity on the overcards, but he's already released his hand.
Bingo.
And the deuce. That was the best hand.
Ryan McNaught here says, unless you move him off and
flop.
chop. Well, so I presume you're talking about the Ace Jack 10-10-10 board. I mean,
Oh, you're like, fuck.
to move someone off of an ace would be, you'd have to put a pretty big bet out there. And then if you're going to put that really big bet out there, you pretty much only ever have
It's a great lesson.
quads.
Your turn. You try it. All right, I'll give
And
it a shot. I have a feeling they'll flop a nut.
I mean, I guess you're just, you know, YOLOing it with a random ace from time to time, and the rest of the time is calling with the ace. I don't know. It's just always really tricky to play your hand in a super narrow spot like that in different ways, right? It's like, I don't know, the human brain just really wants to just sort of pick something and stick to it, at least in my mind. And so to think that you're just like, well, you know, most of my aces are usually just going to want to call here, but you know what, let's just try to YOLO this one through this time. And then just imagine that the dude has quads and just like snap jams it in your face. Like, wow, you didn't have to do that. Anyways, I hear what you're saying, and I just think that the safe route on some of these very narrow sort of textures is just going to make a lot of sense.
And this is what makes poker eternally interesting, is that two smart, very smart people can have completely differing opinions about what is optimal or not.
That is very true. Paolo and Adam here getting tangled up again. Adam releasing his hand in that big pot earlier with the pocket sevens versus pocket aces, and Paolo here now with the ace king off, facing a big 4-bet here from Adam. And a cold 4-bet at that. So yeah, Paolo is going to make the call. He'll play this one out of position with a very strong holding. 7K in the middle. Adam the betting lead and flops an up and down straight draw, but top for Paolo. Things could definitely get interesting here. Paolo checks it over. Adam continues for 2K. Nice small sizing here. And nothing to do for Paolo, but go for the check and the call. There we go. 4 of spades on the turn. It's a straight for Adam. Front door flush draw does complete as well. But if you're Adam, you are loving this board.
Finally, some run good for Adam, who's been struggling for the first hour.
$4,600 is the bet here into 11,000.
Juicy pot, 15K in the middle now. Paolo, top. Dangerous board. Adam with some redemption so far. Now this is what we're talking about. 20K in the middle. 7 on the river.
Yeah, and this is just not a scary card, right? Like, Adam just really shouldn't have many 6s in his range, given the fact that we are in a 4-bet pre-flop.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Here. And so the one-liner to a straight here just really isn't that relevant most of the time. So if you're Paolo, you're just kind of thinking, like, are we chopping? Did he have, like, ace-x of spades or pocket aces exactly, right? Like, pocket aces is, of course, going to want to do this. Ace-king could definitely do this. Spades will do this. And then after that, it's like, what is he ever doing this with as a bluff, right? And kind of tough to think of any. I mean, pocket tens with a spade or something. I mean, you You could think of a world within which you're going to make some bluffs like that, but
Paolo trying to pick up some live tells, doing a stare down. Adam super chill, knowing with the amount of time that Paolo's taking, he's at minimum winning a $31,000 pot. And this feels good after grinding for the first hour and a half.
yeah, the issue here for Paolo, of course, is that anytime you can chop with your opponent's value range, it just feels really bad to fold. And you know, I say that, of course, it means that Adam is going to be heavy in ace king himself. So, you know, Adam could just be sitting there with ace of spades, king X, right? Still two other kings out there. So pretty narrow holding, really. There's just a couple of those. You could also just YOLO this all the way down without a spade in your hand. But does also have the reassurance that he is going to get to see.
That's true, yeah. He's got to show it to get rid of his nit button. And
I know, right? That's all you got to do, make the nuts.
$31,000 pot headed over to Adam, plus 10K in profit. And Paolo saved $11,000.
Paolo was going to snap your ass with these queen of spades right there.
Now Adam winning 3,100 on the night.
Yeah, really nice to go from bottom of the barrel all the way up to second in earnings, just like that.
There's also here. This is yours?
Big stack of 1Ks now, too.
Strange, that timing.
Predicts the pain, and the pain comes. You're like, well, do a little better.
7K behind.
Somebody, Tom Green Fan Archive, sharing some tweets from Eric Person about Jeremiah Dubb. Jeremiah's a close friend and one of the most technically strong poker players in America. He's someone I think through hands with and is worth a watch on Twitch. Interesting. Eric Person. The endorsement from Eric P. Despite what you think about the guy. Dude, he played that massive, like $1.9 million pot a few weeks ago
Fun to see what you had
versus
later.
Antonius, which was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I'm always interested in seeing what you have. I never get to see your cards.
All right, here we go. Single raised pot. And Dindy calling from the big straddle 5-3 suited. Flops a gut shot and backdoor diamond. JD here with the overpair.
I thought I was a deal.
Continue for half pot.
And Dindy. Some straight and flush possibilities later in life. Not with the deuce of spades on the turn.
Would have notated a check raise there from M. Dindy on the flop, given that you're going to have a lot of turn cards where you have either just gotten there or have improved your equity. And JD raising from the hijack, not going to have a lot to do with this board. But does opt for the check call and the check fold line. Perfectly reasonable as well.
JD takes another one down and lives another day.
I don't have to tell you, you win every game. I like it.
Stacks are growing here, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4 over the 20K mark.
I thought you had kings.
Let's play a 40K pot. How about it?
He has kings. He's like, a fucking course, this guy's gonna have a flush somehow, isn't it? I say, I got a jam. Like, how the fuck do I not jam?
$100 straddles on. Nit game still in play. I wonder if a bright green nit button would have been a better choice for the red felt.
I actually was kind of worried about that.
Yeah, I think that's
Something
probably right. Maybe yellow.
Contrast. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Paolo would just snap me the flush, but yeah.
No, I agree with that.
That's always a possibility in that spot.
In that spot, I was
Yeah, for sure.
like
Well, I know that the nit buttons are a brand new creation
Exactly,
of
I'm
one
not
of the
a big
folks
tank
in
ranger,
that usually hangs out with us in the chat, so perhaps we can get a second iteration with some more colorful or I guess unique colors to give a try as well. So maybe something we can get our hands on in the future. It's up to a flop between Yacht Club and Jeremiah. Checky and Yacht Club here really doesn't have much to do after the ace peels off. Jeremiah here going to try to get a little bit of value from a King X, 10X, or 9X that has a gut shot, something of that nature.
Yeah. You need cash?
Things JD's never asked me. You need cash?
It's like I think they've gotten.
Love to be asked that one day.
More strict about it in the last couple weeks because the other day after a session I was trying to tip them with or I tried to buy chips on the way home. That's what it was. They wouldn't take a $1 chip. I was like off the table away. I was like, oh. I was so even I looked at them. I was like, okay. Yeah, I don't know if they're being looked at again hard or something
All right, hand number 38 coming in hot after about an hour and a half into the broadcast here.
Jeremiah
going to open it up with the King 9. Brian Green has gotten tired of folding.
Let's go. I think does he have a knit button still?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, okay, so Rom gets out of the way. Yacht Club with the queen tray. Cometh along. 3 in the door. And out flops the field. The queen tray. Jeremiah thinking he's just never hitting that board. And now things have turned as he turns pair kings.
The turns have turned.
The turns have turned indeed, and it goes check, check, which is interessante. 400 from Brian Green.
Yeah, Jeremiah here out of position, top pair, no kicker. Pretty good spot to just check and call down. And here we go, Brian Green with the 7. Pretty relevant card given the texture here. Doesn't have a club, but doesn't care. He says, well, I've pretty much got the best hands here. But Jeremiah here with a bluff catcher will make the call, ship the pot, and release the nip button that he does not have because he's already won a hand.
Well played by Jeremiah, getting a little extra value by inducing a bluff from Brian Green. Well played, sir. Checking the king turn, turning to top pair, and really setting him up to get 2 streets from one of the more aggressive players at the table. Alan K saying, this dude really bring his dog tonight? I hope that's Alan Kessler. Maybe he spells it differently. But yes, Brian Green brings his dog pretty frequently.
Good job, Nick. Thank you. If this one you went with me too, I forgot.
You went for it.
I did go for it. I did also get there though, so that's you got rewarded. I did, yeah. For going for it. We're gonna have another day at Paolo just winning every hand. Can't go through another one.
What other day? It hasn't been like that in a long time.
A whole lot of folding going
Yeah.
on here, given that these players have nip buttons.
Brian Green
but
started it.
of course,
Ever
the
since
hand's
Brian
not
Green
very
started fucking me
inspiring.
up, I still have
Maybe
Stay on the
they're
button.
I was here, you ran pretty
maybe they're more name tags than they are buttons.
I ran pretty good up until the Brian Green era.
Nice.
All right, Jay will love that as the first trip around on the knit game was pretty tough. Had to fight his way all the way to the finish. This time able to relinquish his button.
Crafts gonna look good.
More in the middle of the pack as we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, I think 4, maybe 5 nip buttons still out in the field.
Buy you hats that I came and gave it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
He got it.
What I do? I got what?
He earned it though.
No.
Oh, come and take it.
It was an aggressive entry.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I'm seeing.
And taken like
I
the
was
movie.
not prepared for that entry.
Particular set of skills.
Adam, Jack 9 suited, big stack of 1Ks, 31K in his stack. I make it 250. Ryan Green does not want to lose the nit game. He's in there with the 7-5 Sooty. Jay, trying to have a friendly game. Just calls with the ace tray. Yacht Club, the ladies, and a knit button. Do it now.
Yeah, great spot to go for the squeeze. Check the sizing here, relatively small given the fact that there's already 3 players in for 250, but just needs to get through the first player. So far, so good. And there you go. Yacht Club going to take that one down. Easy,
Shows
easy,
the
turns
ladies,
over.
dishes the button. Nice result for Yacht Club.
A little out of line for you, but
Ryan Crow, who I'm sure isn't busy at all with the opening of Las Colinas, Texas Card House location opening next week.
we got a 3.
He's in the chat. What's up, Ryan?
Howdy, Ryan. How's it going?
Oh, he does. Oh, he does.
Amal here has 1 TCH Live loyalty point. That is indeed progress, so keep it going, man. All right, Paolo here does have the $100 straddle on. It looks like we've introduced the asterisk into some of these players' names.
Wonder why.
Yeah, I feel like that's got to be just like a little hiccup in the RF Poker setup somehow. A little bit curious. I've never seen that before. Doggy G wants to know what's the penalty, presumably for the nit game. $200 per player. So when you think about not getting paid the $200 if you get rid of your nit button and having to pay out 8 other players, it's effectively 9 players worth of penalty. So $1,800 is the damage. Asterisk Paolo versus Asterisk M. Dindy are going to play this one as it's ace,
Really
10
rolls
flop.
off the tongue.
It really does. Really look forward to doing that for the rest of the night, but presume it's just for this hand. At least I hope so.
Trips for Paolo
That's good. I went to the strip for the first time this
and
year.
a dream only for Asterisk and Dindy.
Yeah, perhaps they've both been tested for performance enhancers, and at this point,
The results don't
They
count.
do good haircuts at Aria. Yeah, I've gotten like a lifetime of like really bad haircuts.
Raina here with a good question, as M. Dindy here is going to go ahead and bet 1,000. Paolo, of course, going nowhere.
You go to like the Aria spa or
Raina,
something?
you'll get a new card the next time you go in,
How much does
and
cost
that
for a
card will be, it'll do double damage at
Do you
both
get like a
locations.
spa access for the
So,
day or anything?
yeah, it's pretty snazzy.
They'll give you a drink of champagne.
Yeah, I mean, that's expensive for a haircut, but I mean, not if you like getting a haircut from a stylist or whatever.
Ooh, A. Griff says, are the
not crazy, it's just really long
asterisks
hair.
for
Long hair
people
is
who still have knits?
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I guess perhaps we've
Kim?
got some updates going on in the background, and that makes
That
a lot of
makes
sense.
a lot more sense. They could have told us about this at any time before implementing this change. But I guess all of us learning in real time, putting it together, a little deduction.
Me and you were just like, Herb, what's all this stuff?
Oh, a change.
M. Dindy. Okay. Yeah, Cooper is just like, this is going to be brilliant. It's going to make so much sense, and we just did not process it.
And as for day times, I don't know. You can go to
It's got to be a
spa for
glitch.
getting the soft
Gotta
tub, the hot
be.
tub or something.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Well done to Cooper or whoever else is taking care of that in the background.
It's starting to get really hot in Vegas, actually.
Yeah, they got pissed at us questioning the color choices for the knit button. It's like, okay, we'll give you a knit button. How about an
I
asterisk?
think you're just. Am I?
A quarter 50. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Adam with the $100 straddle on, Brian Green with a button as denoted by the asterisk. I think we all got dumber in the last 15 minutes.
I feel dumber, for sure.
Amal Patel, high IQ commentary, infinite ROI.
High single digits at least.
One of our finer moments on this stream. I have 2 degrees, and
It's pretty far from you, right? Like 15 minutes?
you would not be able to tell as it comes Queen 10-4, top pair for Yacht Club.
It's like Anchorman, where whatever goes on the teleprompter, he just reads. We're like, asterisk ram. Like, I don't know. I mean,
I'm Ron
this is the
Burgundy.
life we lead, man.
It's also like ridiculous to like pay for a place on the strip, like when you already live 25 minutes away.
All right, Ram here with Squad
I know
Douche.
people look
Top
at
pair,
out here,
no
all the way out
kicker
there,
here
they'll
for Yacht
save
Club.
10 minutes
He'll
for
make
the
the
strip 'cause
call.
it's, quarter of the price or whatever.
Ace now on the turn.
Or
Good
get, like,
card
a
for
nicer house.
Ram, perhaps. Could consider just barreling away. However, he is on a 0 equity bluff.
How far off the strip do you live?
Like 25 minutes. No traffic.
Far side. You gotta, that's what you do, alright?
It's going to continue 1.2K now, and things getting a little bit dicey here if you're Yacht Club.
Yeah, they'll come pick you up.
Feels like you shouldn't just go folding top pair on the flop very often, but don't have any good blocker qualities with that kicker. Pardon me.
Try not to lose, though.
Do you want to buy my action?
Much prefer to continue with something like a Queen Jack or a King Queen. And yeah, Yacht Club is going to let it go. Ram gets to turn over the 8 high and release his knit button.
He's thrilled about that result. Making some lemonade out of lemons, and he's almost in the green. Asterisk goes away along with the button, and he's only $125 away from even. Everyone's goal to get even.
And it's just Brian Green and M. Dindy here still in.
I foresee Brian, he's about to start pressing hard.
I'm going to play 3.
Well, he's starting in the $100 straddle for this hand.
I don't see many hands that he's folding.
Yeah, the nice thing for him is that M. Dindy, for this hand and the next one, is going to have to act first. So yeah, he'll have a lot of opportunities to kind of navigate at his own speed. At least for these next 2 hands. After that, of course, M. Dindy will have position on Brian.
Crazy Daisy from Jeremiah to 400 with the 2 9s and the small blind. Quick call from Adam and Brian Green with one of the few hands that he's got to fold, Jack 3. Although he's, I guess, never mind. I don't think the train of thought was there. Three-way action to a flop.
The train derailed pretty
That's
quickly.
right, very swiftly.
All right, Jeremiah here, still with the best hand, just 1 overcard to the 9s, so he'll continue for a small size. Not the worst board in the world if you're Ram and got a couple of sailboats in hand, so he'll make the call. Another undercard to the 9s, but Jeremiah here, yeah, time to slow it down. Ram not going to turn the 4s into a bluff. He'll check it back, and Jeremiah here, probably not going to hate things too much. See if he goes for the block size. He does indeed.
The bottom of Green Camino back there, I guess. Can I get that, like, just like a little, like 1 or 2?
Ram recognizing that his hand is just never good. Not going to pay it off like Adam did earlier. I think it was Adam. Perhaps it was Paolo. Got hit with that quarter pot on the river and did make the call with the small under pair.
If you got,
Not going to fall for that trick again.
The online in-boss Jeremiah Dub leading the way, winning over 8,000 tonight so far. Pretty solid performance. A lot of fans in the chat. And maybe some new ones in the commentator booth. I genuinely did not know who this guy was before, but so far impressed with the game, and he's been able to get some value in spots that other players might have missed out on. And so overall, pretty solid showing so far.
Yeah, let's not forget the pretty sweet tiger shirt there.
I mean, he's got the full look going. The tiger shirt, the immense shag up top with those luscious locks. I mean, it's all working for him.
Yeah.
And apparently he's 23 and he's been crushing the nosebleed high stakes cash games. That's redundant. The nosebleed cash games for a long time. Which is pretty cool. And 2 World Series of Poker bracelets. It also helps to have aces on the button.
Sure does. Feels good. Both asterisks by the wayside. Yacht Club here with a beautiful hand. Not going anywhere. He'll make the call. Going to play this one out of position. A suited connector.
I don't know if anybody out there has been watching Succession, but Yacht Club reminds me of Skarsgård, the guy that plays the billionaire buyer of ATN in the show Succession. I don't know if anybody else out there sees it, but he looks like the billionaire Swede as it comes top pair for Yacht Club.
Jeremiah here going to overbet the pot slightly as well. 1.3K into 1.1. So just about a 1.2x overbet, 1.25. And wow, Yacht Club releases the flop top pair here.
Are we heads up in the game?
Interessante.
Yep. Heads up.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of experience looking at solver outputs for deep stack cash games, so a lot of these spots are a little bit foreign to me. I presume that Jeremiah here has put in a lot of work in the lab and sort of sees these 2 high, 1 low, 2-tone boards, you know, as these sort of overbet spots when you're that deep. Definitely, I mean, I'm not surprised at it. I do see some of these things crop up in tournament outputs that I've looked at, but yeah, always cool to see some flop overbets getting mixed in, as they are a pretty rare beast.
Jeremiah, almost a stack of high society. Kill pot, 2 pots in a row.
We need to know as well.
Yeah, it's got to be crazy when you put all this time in the solvers and just how differently you view the game than everybody else, where I'm just never thinking about general situations where like, okay, 2 highs and 1 low. What sizing am I looking for here? I'm just never, ever thinking like that. Hence why I stay away from high stakes, no limit cash. Also poverty is another reason why. Yacht Club with 2 jacks.
I really chalk it up to not having studied the spots well enough.
That's the only barrier to entry for me.
Negative $8,000. So that might have something to do with it.
Gotta move some things around.
Oh, good. Also poverty. All right, we got a whole bunch of players trying to get into this flop for $100.
Let's go.
Yacht Club going for the limp, hoping that somebody would bump this up and he'd have a chance to back raise, I guess. I mean,
he's getting his opportunity.
Ram is going to step in it. There it is.
Now this is going to look super strong, I think.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, this is exactly what you wanted if you're going to limp up front.
Raise it a quarter.
And Dindy was like, come on, man. Oh, this sucks.
Ram's in there. We got a pot brewing.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting a reasonable price, but ace-9 suited, my goodness.
Uh-oh. 2 overs, nut hearts, Yacht Club with an overpair. Feels fair.
Yeah, stack to pot ratio just a shade over 1. We're at like 1 1/4 here. I'm going to check it over Yacht Club here. See how fast he plays this. Like, again, the stack sizes are kind of awkward given the depth
He
in
goes
the pot.
2K, and then Rom just jams. Oh, it was close.
You need the energy, Brian. I can tell. You're like dragging here. Here. On the house.
Nice, JD slinging energy drinks.
We got you.
JD runs a good game as Rom does what is expected and ships it in for 6,600 total. Yacht Club calls the table. Looks like we're going one time, and that's a full house.
I need an ace and an ace only. No good. I guess a 5. Ace or a 5 really would have worked.
18,750, $9,600 winner for Yacht Club.
You have the 5?
Yeah, we'll count this down, make sure that Yacht Club does indeed have ramp covered, but it does appear to be the case. So we'll do due diligence here and ship the pot as Ram is going to be reaching into the pockets for a reload. Yacht Club here going to stack up to just shy of 20,000.
I've been streaming on Twitch 75.
Jeremiah said he's been streaming on Twitch 50 to 60 hours a week.
That is a full-time job.
But as you can imagine, the higher
Plus.
the stake, the less often it goes. So it's maybe an average of like 510 or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Is it all global?
Well, it's running 1020 runs every day, but as far as 2550, that's like once a week.
D-Hawks too.
Like one.
Got some more positive words here about JW. Just watching his stream every day for 4 months has taken his game to another level. That's pretty awesome.
Quite the compliment.
Grow Motion, was that all in free? Just tuned in. No, it was not. It was a limp from up front under the gun with pocket jacks. A bunch of other players trying to limp in, 2 of whom still have their nip buttons. Then a big squeeze from Ram in the big straddle, or in the straddle, I should say. And yeah, that set off a chain of events, which was a back raise there from Yacht Club. Everyone else folded. Ram calls, and as we got to
Never mind.
got to the flop,
I got to straddle if it's me.
Jack 5-5, or sorry, 6-5-5, 2 hearts, all the chips.
I want to get done.
Let me hit this wrong. Here's 2 kids.
Yeah, running up from 50K to 195K is pretty strong. I'm assuming well, YouTube doesn't like us talking about online platforms, so I'm just curious where he's spending most of his time playing online. Paolo with 2 10s just calls JD's raise to 250.
And Yacht Club fresh off the win. That previous hand here is going to go for the squeeze, 1.5K. I like this sizing. Some of the other sizings we've seen tonight from the squeezes have been a little bit on the smaller size. So I do appreciate the larger size this time around from Yacht Club. Paolo, though, under-repping the 10s, just calling earlier, he now feels compelled to continue. And Adam here actually getting a price. He's going to come along as well. So 3 players to a flop, 3,600 in the middle. Sorry, 4,850 in the middle already.
Is Global any good? I've never played on that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different skins and stuff. Same as. I guess it's been a little while. I'm a little bit out of the online game, but there's a couple of different sites that all sort of fall under the Global Poker umbrella.
I see.
Anyways, But yeah, let's get back to the hand here. We've got a 9 high board, 2 tone. So top pair for Adam, backdoor straight opportunity. Paolo with the overcard. The 9s are just out of the way, so Yacht Club continues for 2,500. Paolo makes the call, and bingo, Yacht Club drills top pair with the nut flush draw to boot. Of all the cards that Paolo did not want to see in terms of an overcard, the Jack is going to be one of his least. I mean, it's not the scariest card in the world. It doesn't love the fact that there's clubs out there, of course. Yacht Club is going to continue 3,200 here with the top pair. And the flush draw. Paolo's got to be feeling like this is pretty gross. Not having a club could be a big decision maker here for Paolo.
Well, I stopped and I got a couple of stomach hernias.
But the price is small.
I don't know.
Global has no skins? Okay, so I apologize. I'm thinking of perhaps one of the other ones.
Shut out in your old age.
Yeah. I'm married, old-timey.
Yeah, I know back when I used to play online, there was a bunch of different sites and stuff that would pop up all over the place, and they were all effectively under one umbrella. Thought that was the case with Global, but
No more extracurriculars.
all right, so Paolo does make the call on the turn. Here we are on the river, Queen of Diamonds. Yacht Club gonna check it over, and I think if you're Paolo, you just kind of check it back and hope that somehow your opponent is on Ace King that just finally gave up. That is not the case.
Like you guys try to stop. It's like sometimes it's like hard to like.
Yacht Club back-to-back wins here.
It seems like hard to like stop.
Chip up nicely, up over 28,000 and well atop the leaderboard, up $18,500, dwarfing the win here from Jeremiah.
Yeah. There's like one day and we were both doing something and we just both freaked out at the same time and we were like, no more.
That's true.
3 years ago or something.
Yeah. No more. That's good.
All right, coming up on the halfway mark in just the next 7 minutes. Hand number 48 coming at you, so a little bit slower pace here than we've had in the past, but
It's more the universe together.
nit game here being played frequently. Certainly some large pots being played as well with some difficult decisions to be made.
Not looking good for me.
Brian Green here going to raise it up in the cutoff, 10-9 off. And Dindy is out of there, so Brian Green with an opportunity to take this down and get rid of his nit button. Wow, Yacht Club, back-to-back hands winning. He's just going to keep his foot on the gas. Queen 10 off, he's just going for it. But Brian is going nowhere. Let's go. Jay trying to sneak in there with the 6-4 suited, so he'll fold. And heads up between Yacht Club and Brian Green. Dominated situation here for Brian, but it comes 5-5 deuce Badoogie, and not a very inspiring board for either player. Brian Green here could just
God, I wish.
muscle his way through this one if he feels so inclined.
I wish. You've heard the story, right?
Yacht
heard the
Club
story. I heard him
looks
tell
to be
me.
lining up
okay.
I don't know that person, but like just someone.
half pot size, a little bit under half pot size continue.
Manifested it. Did you hear this?
Well, I heard that he was like, yeah, but like part of the story he was like, I was doing hallucinations earlier today, but that's when I had sobered up. And I'm like, man, like, really? It's like, but maybe like another channel, my brain was still open.
Yeah.
So like, man,
That continue is going to get a fold
I
out of
believe it. I
Brian,
understand that part.
and the nit game will continue. Still Brian and Dindy
I've had conversations about it.
waiting for
It's a parallel universe, human beings coming over. They're not like aliens from, you know, it's like a parallel Earth type of deal, like a Marvel Comics type of thing. That is, I don't know. I tried what he did though. Like I tried to manifest the alien experience, and it's not working. I really want to see one, but it just hasn't happened yet. I've been trying for like 2 years, ever since you told me this.
We're back.
We're working.
Perfect.
I think the key
Brian Green not going to take a stab with the 8-6 off, and Dindy here in the small blind.
He's in that earlier in the
Does
day.
it
He's
fold
sobered
to
up.
him?
We had an interaction with aliens. I see.
Just doused my PC in old coffee like a boss.
Oh, you only.
I gave you 50.
You give me 50? Yeah. Is this mine? Did we
I
get it
gave you
right?
50.
Rock Hankins with some hot sports opinions. I turned 400 into 20K in 60 days starting at micro stakes. And JW can't even 4X his bankroll in 100 days.
Sorry, should have waited.
Dang. Called out. JD with the ace Q. Facing a raise from apostrophe, not apostrophe, asterisk M Dindy. I'm literally
Got a little
losing
of
my
that
mind.
coffee in your brain
Yeah.
cells as well.
Have another.
JD here, like, you can have such a wide range here. Going to be raising with all sorts of garbage. Ace Queen going to be super far ahead of that range, and happily going to just squeeze that up, take it down.
Can you send me a stack of green, please?
Did you give me that 2K back?
Oh.
All right, here we are at the halfway mark, so it looks like we'll do at least another hand of 2 card before we do a flip. When we do, I'll take a step out.
It'd be a funny
You
one
hold
if
down the
he
board.
got
Sure.
involved in a pot and loses it. Right.
Haven't seen the bottle of what it is that we are consuming here on the set, but it looks like perhaps Scotch or whiskey.
Brown in nature.
Oh, yeah.
But then what about the person that lost
Jay
it?
with
Do they
ace
get
queen
2K
for
back?
himself, raising it to 400.
I mean,
The man hasn't said a word all night, I don't think.
Yeah, just kind of hanging out, waiting for some good spots. Most of the times he's tried to get into a hand, he's been pushed out of it very rapidly. Certainly has not found any real big hands with which to go crazy with. This is just a raise and take it for him, so a little bit of ground cover, but nothing too special.
Oh. Never
We're
mind.
going, we got heads
Not
up.
bad. I wasn't trying to needle. I forgot. We're halfway.
We're both leading.
Looking at the B-pips there, Jay, Brian, Yacht Club, JD, all up over 30%. So a lot of action happening in terms of players playing a lot of hands.
And the knit game is still technically going between M Dindy and Brian Green. Jay with a single king, raising it to 400 again.
Raina wants to know, what are the asterisks by some of the players' names? Well, it turns out that Cooper, or whoever is flying the controls back behind the scenes, they have been so gracious as to put the asterisk next to the players that still have a knit button. So if they have the asterisk, that means they are still in the knit game. Otherwise, they have already won a hand. Jay here with a misread. Just the King of Hearts on board. He'll release to the 3-bet from Jeremiah and the pocket 10s. M. Dindy, Brian Green, both stuck and both still with a knit button. Brian gonna put out the
Flip time?
here we go. Flip time
Here
it
we
is.
go.
Okay. I shall return.
Dealers pushing in. Hand 52. Mr. McAvoy pushing out. Now you're just stuck with Ben K riding solo. Daniel asking, can you guys please explain the knit game? Sure. Oh,
All right, what do you guys want to do about the knit game?
I'll
You want
step in once JD.
yeah. You want to just finish it out, and then when it's over, you just want to start one again?
Okay, so the knit game, everyone starts with those red buttons in front of them, and if you win a hand and show your cards face up, you get to get rid of your knit button, and the last person with a knit button in front of them has to pay every player $200.
Oh yeah, what is the flip board? Is it just nothing?
Nothing.
Got it.
Oscar in the flip.
Started originally as the stand-up game, and now instead of people standing up, they just have the button in front of them.
Kind of fucked up.
And the last person to win a hand and show their cards down has to pay everyone $200. This is TCH Live. This is Texas Card House in Dallas on the heels or in advance of the grand opening of our Las Colinas Texas Card House location next week. We have our high stakes stream here every Tuesday night from 6 p.m. Central Time to 10 p.m. Wednesday night we have another stream from Dallas, and then the cash game stream live from Austin, Texas Card House. So plenty of live poker action, all for free on this very channel. So make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, all that good stuff as we do another Omaha flip.
This is how every hand of Omaha is played anyway.
Everybody
Takes a while. Everybody calls every bet and then sees every river.
Maybe if I don't turn them over.
Hearts.
Oh, that'd be.
Diamonds.
Hearts. No turn over all the way around.
Hearts.
King,
All right, you guys ready? Ready.
Damn.
More
More
hearts.
What is this?
Really? More hearts. I got 9.
Damn.
Okay.
Oh, no.
We have one out.
3 hearts.
Oh my god, it's a set.
7, 8.
Diamond.
Kings full of 6s.
Oh, geez, that's gonna be hard to beat.
And 6 is full of kings.
Looks like I got you, JD, just with the
Problem with Kings
I don't think I
full.
can beat that. I don't think it's possible for me to beat that. I have ace queen high.
JD, ace queen high. That's got to be good, right?
Out of wrap.
Yeah, Kings full, pretty solid
I'm trying to find something
there
more.
for Ram.
$2,000
Shifts himself up
winner.
Over 20K.
Paolo, thank you for not flipping.
Dealer Travis in the box. One of the best in the
Someone
biz.
give 1K to
Yacht Club having a 20K night so far. Pretty solid showing. And Jeremiah, first time on the stream, winning over 9,000. Pretty strong.
You said 2K on the site, right?
we did, but
JMT asks, are y'all going to stream out of the new Dallas shop? As of now, I don't think so. But I've heard of crazier things. But no, they haven't said that there will be any kind of streaming infrastructure at Las Colinas. But if Ryan Crow's still out there, he might have a different answer.
Yeah, my guess would be no, given the proximity of the two locations and the fact that we just have. I mean, we do have 2 YouTube channels, and so there is always the possibility of expanding to more streams, more commentators, you know, more content. But at the same time, it's kind of tough to think that like you would run multiple shows on the same nights at the same time.
Yeah.
Just because you're just diluting your
You're on
diluting
market.
your viewership, and you need more staff and everything to take care of that, and more infrastructure. It just doesn't seem like a winning move. So my guess is no, but again, that's just a guess.
Queens and 10s for Jeremiah, and the knit game continues. Heads up between Dindy and Brian Green Poker.
Hit that 200 and I started counting the chips to pay out.
as you should.
What's up, Paolo?
Businessman Paolo's back.
Wow, poker is happening out there in the main room.
It's probably a 1-2 game. Someone just
Yeah,
won $200.
yeah. Circa 2004.
Jay here gonna limp the Queen Jack O up front. M Dindy with a suited connector. I like this raise that's incoming.
We have a raise to 275. Fold, fold, fold.
Jeremiah with a suited ace. He's in there. Brian Green, I wouldn't imagine him folding for the world. And Jay is going to go for the limp and the fold with the Queen Jack off. So playing this one pretty cautiously. So 3 players to a flop. King, 4, deuce, rainbow.
Gotta continue, M. Dindy. This is your board. Oh.
Wow.
Oh,
Gut
no.
shot, backdoor clubs, and the betting lead. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you.
Oh.
Massive spot to just c-bet and have both players snap fold. Instead, here we are on the turn 10 of spades. Doesn't change anything given the holdings of the players, but
This might get it done still.
yeah.
And it does.
Yeah, very curious check on the flop. I mean, I would certainly think that that's a 100% continue, but does get the job done nonetheless. Brian Green's going to have to pay out the Nick game, $200 per player, and he'll put together a stack and have everybody sort of pass it down, take your 200 and ship it to the next player. Looking at the V-Pips, Jay, Brian, Yacht Club, all up over 30%. JD, Jeremiah, Paolo, Adam, all in the high 20s. M, Dindy, and Ram down around 20%, but everybody playing plenty of hands. And there we go, right back into the Nick game.
Let's go.
Yeah. You can feel good about this.
Action's heating up here, folks. We got a lot of 20K plus stacks and a 40K pot inbound for sure. Stick with us. We got another 2 hours of poker remaining. Ben K, Aaron McAvoy with you for the next 2 hours. Make sure you hit subscribe and like the stream. Leave a comment below if you're watching in the future.
Like the reverse flip.
Jeremiah here. Wow.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't
Yeah.
think anybody just folded ace-king, but it did show that. Jeremiah here going to open it up, cut off, queen-5 suited. You're going to see a lot of these high-low combos, particularly king and queen X suited, opening from cutoff and button. Adam here going to put in a 3-piece to a 1.9K. He'll go ahead and ditch his button real quick.
No sweat for Adam. Now he's chilling with 30K behind.
We proposed the reverse flip one time. We're like,
Let's see. So have you played, let's see, do you play Wordle
whoever wins
or
the
Quordle or any of those?
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, back when it was the rage.
Because like a normal flip,
I
like
just
what
discovered
happens
a
is
new game today called Phrase, F-R-A-S-E, where you get like a bunch of letters that have sort of been anagrammed into some words, and then you have to, from those letters, put together a short saying or a phrase. And so you see like what the length of the words are, and you know the pool of the letters that you have to work with, each one only being used once. And so then you have to try to construct what the phrase is. Kind of cool. So I played it for the first time today, and I like it. If you're into that kind of thing, check it out.
It's always interesting which games go viral or like it's super popular out of nowhere like that. Where I'm sure there's a bazillion games that are word-based puzzle games, but only certain ones get the word of mouth thing going.
Yeah, Wordle certainly did that for a while.
Yeah, that one
there.
was fun.
Yeah, no, I still play it regularly. It's a lot of fun. All right, ace queen versus e7 here. Straight draw for Paolo. He bets flop, gets called, and another opportunity to fire. And with the size up here, I suspect that he could get the job done. Let's go for 2/3 here.
You can do it less,
He
though.
takes
Like,
down
just
with
the
the 8
flip's
high.
250,
He'll
so, like,
show
you can
set 8 high
pay out
and
300.
relinquish the button.
He tries, so then you're stuck 2,400. It's like not quite.
Another quick shout out to the Las Colinas location, opening here in just about a week and a half on Wednesday, May 3rd. All kinds of awesome promotions for the grand opening. You can see here, 9 hours for $99. First 500 guests are going to get a 2-for-1 on up to up to a total of $1,000 in time. We got full bar, kitchen with delicious options across the board, and everything getting kicked off with a 250K guaranteed tournament, $400 buy-in price point with day 2 there on May 7th. Come on down, check us out, TCH Social in Las Colinas.
TCH Social. Full bar, full kitchen, and a 250K guaranteed tourney, multi-day for 200. What was the buy-in? 250?
$400 buy-in.
$400 buy-in. Pardon. It's a pretty solid offering, I'd say. I might have to cash in some of my marriage tokens to see if I can't make it out for a day one.
So
That would be pretty snazzy.
will the technology
Spin it up into a win. You'll get a
That's
lot
right.
more marriage
That would be
tokens.
That's right. That's right. Come home a winner for a
Does
change.
it now? We should implement a bomb bomb. Like a PLO bomb bomb.
Yeah, we tried it one day.
Checking a call of 250, then checky. Now 4 clubs out here. Pair of jacks is good at the moment, and we will indeed just check to showdown. So Brian Green going to be very pleased with getting rid of the knit button with that board texture.
That made a good fold there. I thought you were telling me you had ace king with like no spade and that. And I was like, whoa, you got me.
Plus they're good action.
Jason Thornhill up to 9 TSH Live loyalty points. Almost there, buddy.
It's even better.
Check your points in another 5 to 10 minutes or so. You'll have 10, and you can blast them into the gambler sphere and hope they return with some more friends.
People got bored with
Yeah.
They're kind of different. I really like the flips because they're just like fast and quick and fun little sweat, you know?
Yep.
But I think that's a
It's not like I'm giving you credit for kind of
just like ace queen.
Raise total of 9. Fold. Fold. And thank you.
Almost.
almost.
At that time.
Nice hand.
nice hit.
Ragnar here asking for top hours and a top. Absolutely. Well ahead of you. There you go in the chat.
Wow. 6.7 million points, is it, if I'm reading correctly? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot. Kind of a
Realistically,
lot.
it's like by the turn, you're almost all in you. So it's kind of like, thank you. You know, it wasn't as complex, I guess.
All right, onwards and upwards. Hand number 59 coming at y'all. $100 straddle is on. Adam here is going to raise it up, make it 250 to go with the suited connector. And Brian Green here just going to call with the ace-10 of clubs. Next to act.
Jay Diggles, ace 5 suited. Let's go.
Always one of those hands that you kind of just feel obligated to treat like it's aces. Adam here will make the call, inviting Brian along for the ride. And his hand's super under-repped, but kind of an awkward spot to go for a back raise here. I do suspect he'll just make the call. And he does indeed. So 3 players to a flop. Brian in position. JD first act with the betting.
Well. Top pair for JD and Brian. Adam with the bottom pair, backdoor diamonds.
Pretty standard spot for JD to slow things down. But he can, of course, continue at 100% frequency here if he so chooses, given the fact that this board is just so strongly his from a range perspective. Adam quickly releasing the bottom pairs. He's the man in the middle. And it's another ace here on the turn. Things could get super nasty. Although JD just has no kicker. And so, kind of like, can he get 3 streets of value from any hand that he is beating? Certainly King, Queen, King, Jack could consider paying off a couple of streets, but checky on the turn, and it's a Jack now on the end. JD playing ace, 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 king, and Jack. Of course, that's not an 8 of spades. And certainly a spot where he could go for perceived value. And depending on the sizing here, Brian.
Interesting.
Oh, wow. JD got Jack. Okay.
7,100 in the middle. Brian Green with trips. That's 2,600. Quick call. Ace Queen is good. 12 $1,000 pot. Brian Green. That'll wake him up.
Yeah, a little wiggle there, a little wiggle dance. Let's
Little
go.
life out of Brian Green after a slow 2 hours. That gave him a little bit of an dopamine hit that he was looking for. And I mean, everybody knows I'm a JD fanboy, but props to JD for kind of minimizing risk there on the end. Pot probably could have been a lot bigger, and he seemingly had the right instinct to slow things down there with the ace-5.
Yeah, and also, I mean, you're up against a player who you know is going to fight for every pot, and you check it over to him, and Brian is kind of like, well, I just had a gut shot that missed, or that gut shot that turned into a pair of jacks on the river. Like, let's just go ahead and fire out a bet, see if I can get him to fold a king, for example. Things of that nature. So, just sort of knowing your customer there is going to factor in as well. Here we go. Brian Green gonna just flat the initial open with the pocket kings. Yacht Club gonna step in it with a squeeze out of the small blind, and Brian gonna hit him with the back raise.
Raise, now 5,500.
Saucy raised for the 2 kings, 5,500.
Yacht Club here, kind of posture a little bit.
Maybe we'll get to see a punt. Ace-4, rip it for 23 effective. That would make for an entertaining night for us. But he folds. He's already gotten rid of his button. Doesn't need to show. Yacht Club still winning 18-5. But Brian Green now booking a little win. Or it's not booked, but he's winning. And decides to put the $200 straddle on, play his rush a bit. This is a large poker game, folks. 100, 200, no limit. Rom 4-5 suited.
Yeah, with the $200 straddle on, you
Right.
know that you kind of have to invest a lot to try to take this down. So, understandable to just fold the 5-4. Yacht Club is going to try to raise to 3 1/4 on what he thought was a $100 straddle, or 350, but instead we see that it was the $200 straddle. So min click it is. Now JD will get to pounce from the small blind with a squeeze on the king 10 of, sorry, queen 10 of diamonds. Brian with king 10. And Yacht Club here going to feel like he's getting pushed around a little bit, but you'll see that indeed he was well behind in both situations. There we go, down to 4 buttons remaining.
With a button.
Again.
Yeah, JD pretty good at efficiently getting through the nit game.
Jason Thornhill, there you go, up to 10 TCH Live loyalty points. Best of luck to you.
Been working for those. Gamble all, and he lost.
Stacked.
To the felt right away.
I was going to win that one, Brian. I said I was going to win that one.
Good luck next time. So sad, as they say.
All right, let's see if you took one off of the board for the low rolls. Maybe I'll snatch up some points for you.
Oh, watch Aaron McAvoy just sandbag his way to 10,000.
Oh, no, I rolled even worse than him.
I'll take a king. A king would have been fair.
And Dindy with the button and facing a 3-bet from Paolo.
Yeah, that's a pretty good hand. was hoping
Wow,
you had
what
some
a
bullshit
flop.
over there.
Nice
You know?
flop for
Stab
Paolo.
it.
The world.
Yeah. I took turn and river here. Stab away, buddy.
Yeah, and M. Dindy here with the bottom pair. Just going to be really happy to get to showdown and turn over his pair of fours if he can. So checks it back, exercising caution and pot control. Paolo here going to bet half pot, though, on the turn after check two. And I think this price is going to get a little bit of extra value out of M. Dindy as he turns that gut shot. Does make a call, and here we go.
Oh, deuce of spades.
We didn't try to trap each other that one. That one we were raising.
Paolo hitting the king high flush and M. Dindy rivering the wheel.
Yeah, pretty gross spot. And this is a spot where it's just like very transparent for Paolo, right? Like you just kind of know that you're up against this sort of holding a lot of the time. Your opponent very likely to have an ace when they check back flop and then call turn. This is just such a slam dunk spot to go for value. A little 1.5K, you know, it's just it's only about half a pot, man.
You're trying to milk me. You're not scared. You're not scared. You're trying to
not
milk
even a half pot bet, but M. Dindy is going to feel compelled to pay that one off, and max value here for Paolo, shipping a $7,400 pot.
JD calls it, saying straight no good, and Paolo stacks another one. 20K stack, down 3,500.
You weren't scared. You're trying to get like two pair to call there, so you're trying to milk me.
Very nice.
I'm adding on 5K. I'm adding on 5K. Adding on 5K.
I didn't know that.
M. Dindy going for the orange Crown Royal bag.
Oh. A little bit of pizzazz in his rebuy. Didn't even realize that many people drank Crown Royal. Every freaking mid-stakes poker player ever has their chips in a Crown Royal bag. 2 nines
Yeah, I think
with Jeremiah.
It's just kind of a rite of passage, you know, when you play at a stake where you need to like have chips on you at all times. You just naturally gravitate towards the fine pouchery that is the
That's right.
the Crown
That
Royal
is
bag.
the technical term, pouchery.
Yes.
From days of old. Find me your finest poucherist.
All right, we've got a raise 3-bet and 4-bet. Jeremiah here going button versus big blind with the nines. Correctly recognizing that the 3-bet from the blind is going to be relatively wide. Adam, though, with the king 10 suited and recognizing the dynamic himself, is going to make the call. He'll play this one out of position. And flops bottom, too.
K's and 10s. Not a fun flop for Jeremiah in a 4-bet pot. I guess he does have the, quote, nut advantage.
Yeah, it's a spot where you're kind of compelled to c-bet at 100%. Just doesn't really feel very good.
Drawing to a single 9. And it's a 5. Would have loved to see a 9 there for entertainment value. Off Jeremiah shut down. A scary looking board. Decides to check. 9! Wow! I genuinely didn't know that that was coming. A 1-outer on the river to scoop.
Pretty savage river card here as Adam is going to continue checking, giving Jeremiah maximum opportunity to value bet something like ace, queen, ace, jack. And with 8,500 in the middle, it's a fistful of pink chips, purples,
like
lavenders, whatever.
9,500, 8,000. Oh.
It's a full pot size bet here on the end. And Adam, who was like, this is exactly how I drew it up, but 8K, full pot. Ugh, that doesn't quite feel right. That feels bad.
J-Dub. A little bit of new stream run good. Adam with kings and tens has the spidey senses going off, understanding that by now his hand may be no good.
Yeah, you're just handcuffed though. Your hand is just way too good.
What do you have? I got a 1-outer, son. This is so brutal for Adam.
Wow, he can just feel it though. He can feel that this is just not a good spot. But for it to go bet, check, bet. Can you ever fold the king 10 here?
Button versus big blind in a 4-bet pot? I mean, God. Is this ever Jack 9 of clubs? But that's only one combo. Oh, he calls $24,000 pot. And that is a mega pot for JW. Loses the button, the knit button, and scoops a massive pot.
God dang it, I'm heads up again for this thing.
Yeah, and Adam there, you could tell he had his spidey senses going. He could feel the danger there. The full pot on the river. Very unlikely for a studied player to go for a full pot size bet if they miss the front door clubs. Also, like, why did he bet flop, check, turn? This is his board. Like, he should just be barreling with a bunch of club flush draws. Like, none of it added up. It's just really tough to find bluffs in his opponent's range. And more so than him being near the top of his bluff catching range, it's just like, God, he just doesn't have many bluffs. And you really just kind of have to, yeah, just do exactly what he did. Hem and haw, feel the danger, know that this is still a really nasty spot, and then just put the call in anyways, because you just don't have many better hands.
My backup plan.
I don't know. That's poker in a nutshell right there. You know your beat, but you just can't quite hit the full.
Oh, she was working on the PhD, but
Adam's internal temperature probably raising a bit after that one.
over COVID, they shut down the universities, right?
Isn't it the 400 with the king
Still, like, worked for
deuce?
them, like, did like remote classing for classes or whatever. I don't know, she got kind of burned out over COVID because, like, all of a sudden went from, like, you know, being in a communal university space, like working with people, doing research, whatever.
Dindy here still trying to get rid of his knit button. Does flop a pair.
So she, anyway, she's
inferior to that of Adam, but we'll go checky down the line, and now 2 pair on the end for Adam.
Yeah. Has like a little like side business and like a
K's and deuces. That's 500.
She doesn't like sell the quilts right now. She mostly keeps them or gives them away to friends. But she, that's really cool. I'm not saying the business is profitable currently, but it's
yeah, that's the look of frustration that I've had on my face many times. A little head shake. Yeah, it is pretty savage when someone hits a set on either turn or river against you and you have such a strong hand. It's just like, come on, man.
A 1-outer. I mean, that it hurts so
Does
much.
some testing and stuff for different patterns and stuff from different companies.
That was the 2% of the time that you lose that hand. He knows it.
You know, she was very stressed out as a teacher, and then she was very stressed out in university. And now she's been kind of less stressed out.
That's good.
She made more money as a teacher, technically. Really?
Yacht Club just gonna limp here from
like
under the gun.
University, like, they covered tuition plus paid or something. So
Dindy an opportunity to limp himself,
this
and
business right now is not like
Ram gonna go ahead and check his option. 3 players with knit buttons all taking this flop. Jack 10 6 2 tone. A pair of 6s for both Dindy and Ram. Yacht Club here with effective 4th pair and a diamond.
definitely fun. She enjoys it a lot.
Aces and 6s for Ram. Yep.
Yeah, pretty good spot here for Ram. Yacht Club still with some equity. Can hit a 3, can hit a diamond. Checky, checky to the end, and it's another diamond. So the butt flush here for Yacht Club.
What's your wife? What's she up to?
And Ram with the 2-pair, not going to love life, but is going to go for a half-pot bet anyways. Trying to get a little bit of value from hands that he beats. And yeah, Yacht Club will get to show the butt flush, and there you have it. 3 of diamonds, good enough to take it down and release the button.
Jeremiah with a $41,000 stack after that 12K ad against Adam. You need to play a massive, massive one now.
It's your thirst for cards. It's
just
unparalleled.
insatiable. Insatiable. Expectations are always so high.
Couldn't be me. You know, you get the other 3 or 4 weekends a month. I need 1 weekend every month.
I think so, yeah. You got the ace queen?
$100 straddle on over to JD.
Ryan McNaught, did he just say butt flush? Yes, I did.
Jeremiah, same pair, same suit. He's going to turn to Phil Hellmuth after this session if he keeps winning with 2 9s. Raising it to 250.
Anyone wondering what the butt flush is? It is the worst possible flush imaginable. You have, the 2 or the 3 high flush or whatever is given the door texture, the lowest possible flush. You have butt flush.
Four-way action. 10 trays in there.
I'll be coming right back. Like, I'm gonna leave.
And didn't do the second pair. Best kicker.
Yeah. And then I'll be here for some amount of time, and I'm not sure.
Jeremiah with the 2 9s. Well in the lead.
I think I'm leaving just after this game, actually.
I've heard drugs are a hell of a
Ram here thinking about going for it with a lot of nothing. He will bet the pot here. A little bit eyebrow raising. Jeremiah's like, what can you pot here? And
Chris, you played that Congress game. That big Congress game.
King of Hearts now comes off on the end.
That's a lot of Lubbock,
Ram
guys.
here with the Jack High Heat checks, and easy game if you're Jeremiah. Get to show down the 9s with no further decisions to make. So Jeremiah could do no wrong. Up $22,000 here tonight.
Jeez. Does that count as the bankroll challenge? Like, doesn't that get him over 200K?
My guess is that it's an online only thing, right? People were talking in the chat about him playing on Global and WSOP, so I think that's going to be an online bankroll thing. But obviously, doesn't hurt to come on the live stream here and pick up a couple of stacks of high society.
Yeah, a win's a win. A win is a win. But also, still an hour and a half of poker to be played.
It looked like a fun time. I'm just like you. I'm one night's like funny.
What's the big industry in Amarillo? It's not oil, is it? Like farming?
We're going to the Jazz Festival, New Orleans this weekend.
Ace 10 suited for Rob. To 400. Yacht Club. Calls.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, it's like a horse racing track, but it's like in New Orleans. I mean, like.
It's up.
The horse racing track is a big facility.
Second pair for both. Rom's got him kicked.
When I was in Houston, the game, I got out of the first night's game at 3:30, almost 4 a.m. And they're like, we're going to,
about 650.
we're going to Bahamas. And I'm like, what's that?
650 is the continue, so 2/3
Not bad. Still
on the flop here from Ram. Yacht Club going to make the call. Both players with backdoor flush opportunities. Here comes the Queen of Clubs on the turn, so Yacht Club out-kicked but does have that club equity now. Ram here, who sort of initially had some fears about being up against the queen. Should have those fears assuaged to some degree. He'll continue with a half pot now on the turn. And if you're Yacht Club, you're kind of like, oh, yeah, this feels all right. Maybe you've got something like a Jack 9, King 9, Ace Jack, things of this nature that are just going to continue barreling. And all of that is fine. So he'll make the call. The biggest brick in the deck, the Deuce of Hearts, comes off on the end, and Graham here with 4,400 in the middle. Opportunity perhaps to go for another street of value. He does indeed. A little under half pot this time, 2,100. And Yacht Club in a bit of a predicament, but how many better bluff catchers are you going to have than second pair, second kicker?
Fuck him. Trick him.
That's right. Never let them know your next move.
I mean, everyone was super disappointed, but I was just like, they were like, oh,
Yacht Club does make the call, gets shown the ace-10, and is about to turn his hand over thinking, oh yeah, no, I can, oh wait, no, I can't beat that. Got me out kicked. Pipped. Joseph in the chat says he was set up to run good today. Finished the stream last night down 4 or 5K. Okay, so turned things around and is now solidly in the profit zone, at least for the time being, as my esteemed colleague Ben Kirby did mention. We do still have a little bit under an hour and a half left in the broadcast. Hand number 68 coming at you. Still 4 players at the 40%, sorry, 30% VPIP and above. Rams rounding things out down to the bottom, 21% on the VPIP. Still all healthy numbers across the board. Andy joining us here in the chat says, good evening, folks. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome.
Did you get 200? That's it.
This is it? Oh.
Another quick shout out to the Las Colinas location. The grand opening coming up here in about a week and a half, Wednesday, May 3rd. All sorts of awesome promotions for you guys, food, drink, and tournaments as well. 250K guaranteed tournament to kick things off. Day 1's starting May 3rd, running throughout the rest of the week with day 2 on Sunday, May 7th.
And Lubbock?
The 200 is on?
And where?
Just like 30 minutes to the west of Lubbock.
Must have been a 6-6 game.
All right, $200 straddle is on. Adam here going to open up the action from under the gun with a raise to 450. Looks like we have a lot of unread hands, so might be playing this one with cards down. We have M. Dindy coming in for a re-raise on the button.
We're playing tomorrow? We're playing tomorrow here at 1.
Let's wait for Jay to come back.
Garen in the chat, what time does it open? 9 a.m. on Wednesday the 3rd of May. Adam here does make the call, and I do not believe for 1 second that he has 6-3 off. Because we had some misread cards, I really strongly do not believe that Adam has that. However, if he does, he just flopped bottom 2 pair, and M. Dindy here with the top pair, top kicker. But again, I really, really don't believe that Adam has this.
I missed the 10 a.m. meeting today. Not ideal.
Set of 6s, set of 3s, something like that, maybe, but
yeah, it was just a call.
all right, bet a 600 and a check call here from Adam. Queen of diamonds now on the turn. Checks it over, and still a pretty good spot here for M. Dindy to continue going for value. Top pair, top kicker, going to be good across multiple streets, and given the stacked pot ratio, probably looking to just bet something like half pot and get it all in. Half pot actually a little bit on the high side. But that is what he goes for, half pot now, and leaving himself just 3.4K into a pot that will go up to almost 9. So 1/3 on the river. Adam here does make the call, and it's an ace on the end, top 2 here.
Yeah.
And if Adam does
That's
indeed
like
have the
super early
6-3
too.
off, he has just gotten completely smashed by this river.
This would make Adam quit, I think, if he does in fact have a 6-3.
Yeah. How much?
And Dindy rips it 3,400 more.
Just lose a set of kings there like all the time.
Yeah,
looks like
Adam
paint.
he does not have 6-3. Yeah, I did not believe that he did, but I think he's got like ace queen.
44-25.
He said losing to a set of kings.
Oh, maybe he's got pocket queens.
That
I
would
thought
be.
I saw a base card in his hand for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
King.
If he's got a set of queens, this would feel a little bit like a knit roll.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. We did get M. Dindy's stack cut down and announced 44-25, so a little bit more than what we thought he had. So this is about a half pot size river jam.
44-25.
And yeah, Adam here, sort of regardless, is going to make the call. It's shown the ace king.
Did he? So
And I
he
think
mucked,
that was a
maybe?
quick muck.
$17,000 pot.
Are you from
Queen Tray?
Hey, Jay.
No, site.
Ace
queen.
Queen won a hand, so we're gonna start
Wow.
Nick and
Goes perfect to get popped for all of it.
My first hand after I lost him.
Until I got to my
starting this hand.
like residency. Once you become a
Really
resident,
tough night here for Adam.
and they're actually
Yeah.
like, they really don't
Hate to see it.
They crack down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's just the way it goes, though. Like, you just
Yeah, they'll just
keep getting whacked over and over and over.
wrong. They'll take
You
your
see, you know, maybe one other guy at the table who just keeps winning. And, you know, it's just the way this game goes. It is
It just seems
not
like
for the
it's,
faint of heart.
yeah, like the deck is literally against you. It sometimes makes you feel crazy. That's the really frustrating part. Is like I know for a fact this is all random, yet for some reason it's outweighed against me for some reason. So I definitely empathize with Adam, although I can't completely relate to the stake that he's playing, but at least relate to the sentiment.
Because they don't officially offer it, I think it's something that always had that risk movement, but like, they're known to not fuck around, like you said.
Ryan Green, Jack 10 suited.
The game's on.
Raised to 300.
Dindy with the KQ. Still stacking the chips. 3-bet. Typically, this looks super strong, and what's even stronger is Yacht Club with 2 aces. Typically, if a player's stacking chips and they put the effort to put a 3-bet in there, that's generally strength. Hopefully, Yacht Club recognizes this and makes them all pay.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much regardless what you've seen leading up to your action, when you have the birds, you've only got one option, and that is to raise. Back over to Brian Green, suited Jack 10. Such a beautiful hand, and it's one that you just never, ever, ever want to fold, but given the action, you have no other option. So the aces are shown, and everyone's like, yeah.
Yeah,
You don't say.
would have done the same.
Instantly off the hook.
So let's see. Do you know the gender of your next child, or are you guys winging it?
A girl.
You're having a little girl? Okay,
Yeah,
very good.
one boy and one girl, and so all new clothes, all new nursery, nothing recycled. It's the best financially.
Yeah, you love that.
No,
I mean, I'm sure there are some things that
There
you
are,
do
there
to
are.
recycle and sort of crossover, but yeah, no, I mean, I can hear the joy in your voice.
No,
about,
we're
parenthood.
excited. It's just kind of terrifying because you get used to raising a little boy, and
Is that a settle?
Raising a little girl to a lot of people is different, and so I'm just interested in to see how it is different and how it's the same. But we'll be grateful if the baby comes out healthy and mom does okay. I don't really care one way or the other. So
absolutely, man, that is what is most important. And then,
but I appreciate you asking, and yeah, that is very much the highest top of mind thing for us right now, and going to take some time off in middle of May and into June to prep and do all that. As that's going to be, I mean, going to lose some sleep for a few months there, but we'll be back at it in no time.
Excellent, good to hear. Well, if anybody wants to drop a super chat in the chat for our newest father here, Mr. Ben Kirby, all of your super chats do go directly to the commentators and the production staff. So
thank you.
Yeah, would of course always appreciate that. But best of luck to you, man, and hopefully, as you say, everything does come out smoothly, and you guys are cruising right along on 3 hours of sleep.
That's right.
Before you know it.
Total for the week. Thank you so much.
For the week,
yeah, we're grateful to have to be in this position. I know a lot of people would like to be in the position and don't get to, so it's not lost on us.
Yeah, cool, man.
So back to the cards. Rom mixing it up, really wants to get rid of his knit button. 7-4 suited with a couple of walking blinds. Has to get through Brian Green, who's going to make it difficult every time. Aaron says, "Baby girl equals new shotgun." Hey, that might be on the registry.
Like a week ago or something, 2 weeks ago.
Appreciate the thought here, and I'll send you my my Shields baby registry. Or
Cabela's, there you go.
Long gone.
All right, Brian Green going to get rid of his knit button, taking it down to 7 high. Or, sorry, that was Ram.
He ran pretty bad.
Brian making the fold.
Some sessions, and then he had
we look at pre-flop raising action for just a moment.
He gave some of it back. I mean, he still definitely won, but like, I don't think it was some massive number.
All right, we are going to post the blinds, whether the players are at the table or not. So a couple of dead blinds out here this time around.
Partially the problem when the Nick game's on.
So sick that at this stake, they're basically just lighting $75 to $100 on fire when they're walking during the blinds. And they're not worried about it. Uh-oh. JWVJD.
Yeah, battle of the Jays here. Haven't seen these two players really tangle up yet, as they are right next to one another, but
I also
very
think
likely to be one of those spots.
JW and JD probably mutually respect each other's game. Jeremiah shows the ace king.
Yeah, I suppose just the 4X in position, it's like, yeah, I just don't want to go up against that.
Shout out to everybody on Twitch. A lot of Twitch fans of JW in the mix for good reason, because JW said earlier that he streams 50 to 60 hours a week on Twitch, which is impressive in its own right. But shout out to everybody that's watching over on the Twitch side of the house. Really appreciate you joining us. Thanks for subscribing and spending some time with us here on TCH Live. We're here every week, Monday through Thursday, and Saturday night as well. Playing some live poker from Dallas and Austin. Houston even, I think now, is the Houston stream is up and running.
That's right. Doug R. here in the chat says, how does Ram pronounce his name? Well, I've met Ram many years ago. Well, I say many years ago. It was probably like 2.5 years ago, something like that. And actually, he knocked me out of a tournament, and I had a funny side bet with some of the other local Austin players. It was just kind of a needle thing where it was like, whoever knocks you out, you have to give them $100 and a T-shirt, you know, to sort of commemorate you getting smoked. And it was Ram. And so when I shook his hand and told him that he was getting $100 and a T-shirt, you know, I asked him his name and everything, and he said Ram, and I was like, oh, Ram, like not Ram, and he said, no, it's Ram. And you see
really?
He's wearing the hat with the Ram on it, whatever. I mean, everybody calls him Ram as well, and he just sort of rolls with it as far as I can tell, so I don't think that it really matters to him one way or the other. But I was told by him that he goes by Ram. So that's what I call him. But again, I've heard everybody under the sun calling him Rom, and I've never seen him get bent
I
out
feel
of shape
like
about it. So.
early on I got corrected to say that it was Rom, but if you heard him from his mouth say Ram, then I'll switch it. Because I think I started calling him Ram, and then someone corrected me. And it's like, no, it's Rom, dude. So that is good to know for sure. Hayden Fortini, $4.09 at Super Chat. Thanks, dude. Congrats, Ben Kirby. Being a girl dad is the best, but also terrifying at the same time. Best wishes to you and your family. Thank you, Hayden, and back at you and Kimmy. That was very generous and very classy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you, Hayden, for that, and best wishes to the Kirby family for sure. But yeah, no, he's. I presume it's like a nickname or something. And he's got the hat with the Ram on it and everything.
Probably true.
Yeah, I don't know the full backstory. It would be awesome to get an interview with Ram/Rom, and you know, have a little video clip that we could play, so that it's like, we've got it. This is it. It's from the horse's mouth. He's settled all debates. Paolo gonna go for a raise here on the flop of Queen 10-10 two-tone. Dindy here with just the ace-king high is gonna have to let this go, and Paolo will show the nines. It was the best hand, but a pretty gutsy play, all things considered.
9-9. Beauty. That 9 is coming. Even if you get called. Yeah.
Sell Ram merch? Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, a whole line of T-shirts. I got felted by Ram, you know. We'll get the first one.
Poker Monkey humorously asking, how does Ben pronounce Ben? Surprisingly, there is a lot of controversy around how to pronounce Ben. Like, some people say Ben or Ben, and I've had more than my fair share of conversations about, is it Ben or Ben? It's like, dude, it's Ben. Like, every normal person says Ben. But some people genuinely say, hey, Ben. What's up, Ben?
Ben jamming?
Stop being so strong with the E. It's Ben.
Like a garbage bin.
A garbage bin, right? But don't overemphasize the I either. Like pin, bin. It's as it is. It's bin. Not Ben and not bin. It's bin. I'm literally gonna show myself out. I'm gonna disconnect my Ethernet cord.
It was nice. It was nice to know you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This Paolo coming over the top of JW, who's got ace king again. Look, my man is the end boss of online poker, but also has had a great share of premium hands tonight, which is a dangerous combination.
Very true. Paolo here has had enough of this hand and I'll let it go.
Just crushing the game for 24K.
Feels good. All right, still a handful of nit buttons out there. 1, 2, 3, 4 in play. And Adam, who has really been getting sort of raked over the coals here so far this evening, not at his seat to even defend / whatever the opposite of defend his nit button is.
No mercy. Oh, there's 3 cards. Hold on. Before anything happens, I have 3 cards here. It's a misdeal.
Misdeal. So we're going to back it up.
Back it up. Let's try again. So are you doing a full schedule the next 3 weeks heading up into the World Series? Like, I'm assuming you're still commentating, but are you going to be like on the grind the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, pretty much. That is the plan. So, yeah, a lot of good tournaments. Most, the big one's going to be on the weekend, of course, but then some stuff throughout the week as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a really good warm-up. at least, fingers crossed. I hope it's a good warm up and not just me absolutely punting
Donating
off my
before the
roll.
series.
Yeah. Like, cool. Now I need to sell 80% of myself to even go out there. But no, the plan, of course, is to, play good poker, hopefully have a good run or two, and bring a few dollary dudes out to Vegas with me to fund my summer. But we shall
Love
see.
it. And then a full summer. I know we've talked about this briefly, but do you know what your plan is for the summer?
Definitely not a full summer. No interest whatsoever. Even if I just like straight up bank, one of the main events or something like that, and have an obscene amount of money, I will not be doing a full summer. That's
It's got to
just
be
not.
such a beating by the end by July.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I love poker, but anything, even the things that you love, if you just like do it so repeatedly and all in a row. I mean, it takes energy, right? It takes a ton of energy to play these tournaments day after day after day. The stress and the battling and all that stuff. I mean, it's just, you've got to be able to unplug and take some time to yourself.
Chilling tonight, huh?
And let's get back to the hand here real quick. Thankfully for Adam, does not back into the heart flush. Perhaps would have gone for a big bet there on the end and, gotten himself tuned up. Obviously would have needed to be the queen of hearts, but nonetheless, Ram going to take that one down. In any case, no, I can't do that. Can't go and try to play a full, a full series. So my plan and what I usually do, my plan for this year is what I usually do. Go out and play the opening, roughly a week or so, something like that. There's the mystery bounty, the 1K mystery bounty, and then there's the $300, basically their kickoff event, no limit hold'em kickoff event.
Yeah.
With a
New
massive
for this
guarantee.
Year.
Yeah. And I mean, those are just going to be off the chain, right? Like you got to go play those. So I'm going to go try to play those. That's my plan, anyways. Take a couple of weeks off, come back home, relax for a little bit, and then go out to play Millie Maker through main event. That's my plan.
Let's go. Mitchell A, let's go, man. Super chat, $49.99. Loving the stream. A few pennies to help with the new shotgun fund. Daughters are awesome. Mitchell A, thank you so much. That's very generous. And very grateful for your support. Trips for Brian Green. And not much for anyone else.
Yacht Club, though, with the betting lead, he's going to go ahead and continue for 1/3 pot. So try to clear out all of the missed hands that have some equity out there.
Spades makes things interesting for Yacht Club.
But when he gets called in two places, the alarm bells are going to go off, especially for JD, who was already venturing into murky waters, calling with just the queen high, having Brian calling behind. He certainly could have a hand like pocket sevens, something like that, that just isn't quite ready to give up on the hand. But yeah, Yacht Club going to bet another 600 just to sort of set his own price for the river card. But it's a jack of hearts. Does improve him to 2 pair, but the trips here for Brian Green going to be good enough to bet for value, and he goes 2.1K into 3. A little bit on the larger size here, perhaps hoping that Yacht Club has something like pocket queens or something that just can't quite fold, but King Jack does go into the muck, and so the bet there too large to even get paid by the river top 2.
I love this Twitch name. Gucci Donut asks, does that guy have a nurse/masseuse massaging his head while playing poker? F? Yes, there is a full staff of masseuses here at Texas Card House that you can pay for a massage at the table. Pretty common practice in poker rooms these days, and an amenity that Texas Card House likes to provide. And so the super chat, the freaking stream is no exception. And Brian Green, you'll see often getting a massage at the table, especially these guys that are staying here for 10 hours at a time. It's usually pretty helpful. Garen, super chat, $5. Thank you so much, Garen, who I think Says not very much towards a shotgun, but might get you one round of buckshot. Thank you, Garen.
Double op buckshot. Yeah, that's
Double
good
op
stuff
buckshot.
for keeping those boys away.
I've got a son and $2 myself. Hope you enjoy having daddy's a little girl. Thank you so much, Karen.
All right, JD there with 2 black 10s gets rid of his knit button, and just like that, we're down to what, 3 players, 4 players with a knit button still.
I had 4 deuce off one.
Looks like
Oh yeah, you did
I can only see one. So much red to look at.
Yeah, it's 3. Adam, Dindy, and Jay.
Thankful for the asterisks in this specific case. Man, that would be such a needle for Adam to lose the knit game, given his last hour.
Yeah, things have not gone well for that man. Some pretty rough spots. He is going to come in for a raise here off of 6.6K. King 10 of hearts. Ryan Green sneaking in there. Yacht Club going to sneak in there as well. And over to Jeremiah, who is just going to close the action. Oh, not quite. Paolo was in there, but he'll complete from the big blind / straddle, and there we go.
Jeremiah still running pure on an ace-8-5 flop. Flopping top pair with a jack.
Yacht Club here. Going to continue 400 into 1,500. Small size just to kind of thin the herd a little bit, but all the players with an ace call. 4 clubs now on the turn, so 2-tone board.
Ryan Green picks up a gutter, technically. But Jeremiah betting 500 for value.
Yeah, this is starting to feel pretty weird, but the small size just keeping everybody around, and it's
a
brick on the end. So Jeremiah here will finish with the best hand if we get to showdown. Let's see if he goes for another small size, just like puts another 900 out there.
Such an ideal run out.
Oh yeah, who you pulling for?
Even smaller, looks like 300. And he's milking it.
Yeah. He gets the 900 total by putting 300 out and getting called in 2 spots. That is amazing stuff. Everybody with the ace. No one going to take an opportunity to try to turn their hand into a bluff, and he just scrapes another pot his way.
All right, I'm quickly getting on the JW fanboy train. He has so far played just about perfect given the hands that he's had. Now, granted, he hit a miracle 1-outer for rolls, which was great for him, but the cards that he's been given, his man has played pretty great so far tonight. And so I think the hype is real.
Absolutely, yeah. He has played well. And, you know, you do always have those sort of situations where your decisions are just relatively straightforward. You know, you kind of, you navigate a couple of streets and river a set, and you're like, oh, well, we just go for max value, and your opponent just happens to have flopped bottom 2 pair, so you're getting paid. Great, you know, good for you. And then the next hand, you've just got, you know, an overpair to the board, and you've got 3 streets. You know, I mean, just it lines up to where he's getting to make relatively straightforward decisions, but his opponents just keep having the right hands in order for those pots to get shipped his way with the maximum amount of chips. So it's been a real pleasure to watch him play, and things just really going well for him.
Absolutely.
Adam here able to get rid of his knit button, so he is not going to pay it out. It's down to M, Dindy, and J.
You said you can't lose 2 in a row.
1.8 seconds left in the basketball game.
It looks like the cheers out there, perhaps, for the basketball game that's currently going.
Oh, yeah, I've been following it since the Mavs got out.
You're trying to go 3 for 3, 3 for 4.
All right, M. Dindy and Jay here right next to each other. Both have to wait this one out a little bit longer.
Raise 300 full. It's actually all done. Full. Earlier I messed that up.
Yacht Club gonna get called in 2 spots. Everybody has a 6, but no 6 on board. Top pair. Backdoor flush draw here for Paolo. See if I can get my 500 TCH Live loyalty points back or not. The Jack of Hearts on the turn changes nothing. Paolo here with a hammer lock on this hand. Ooh, nice. Right back to where I started. Runs all the way out to a one-liner to Broadway. Brian Green here backing into Broadway. That's full pot here and really going to be tough to get called by anything, but does go for max value. Paolo, though, hasn't released his hand yet, perhaps seeing the full pot size bet as a little bit curious. Like, why would you bet so much? If you have a 10, wouldn't you want to bet less and try to get called? So maybe you just have like some total random garbage. Just like backdoor flush draw on the flop, and that was it. Like maybe 6, 7 of clubs or something, and now here you are. We've checked through on the turn, and you're just going to blast it and hope to get it through. But yeah, top pair no kicker really just doesn't feel like a great bluff catcher. You'd rather have 2 pair at least, just so that you're not over calling. Paolo, though, in the tank, still thinking this one through. 6 of diamonds just also not a good card to have. 6, 7 of diamonds, a possible hand that could float the flop for the 400 c-bet.
It's a fold.
End up at that river with hopes and prayers only.
Kind of a quiet night verbally from Brian Green. Sometimes he is talking for 4 straight hours, but has not said much tonight. Have his game face on, 31K in his stack. Not too shabby. Not sure how much he's in for the game for. Final hour of the stream, 50 minutes remain. Ben K and Aaron McAvoy with you from TCH Live. Quarter, 50, 100, 200. No limit hold'em is the game. Not every hand, but every hand it's at least quarter, 50. No limit.
Jay here putting the $100 straddle on getting raised up to 400 by Ram. 2 black 10s. Paolo in the mix. Brian Green will complete, and now Jay here. An opportunity on pocket kings to get rid of his knit button and potentially build up a nice juicy pot for himself, as there are 3 players showing interest in this one. Has to be careful that he doesn't go too small, though, and get a cascade of calls. He would love to thin the field here.
And this will look super strong to see Jay raise over the top of 3 people, given that he basically hasn't done that at all tonight.
Yeah, this is a very small raise. 1,600, only a 4x. 1,600 giving his opponents only 1.2K to call. And if Ram calls, the pot will go up to 4K. And then everybody else will be getting an even better deal on their calls. It's always the problem with choosing the appropriate squeeze size. You don't want to set it so high when you have really good hand like this that you price everybody out so easily, but you also don't want to set it too low and have everybody come along for the ride. It is tough to beat 3 opponents with pocket kings versus just beating 1. E6 is in the muck, and Brian Green, given the price, is going to make the call. So Jay going to get a couple of customers here. 5,200 in the middle. Jay with half pot, just about behind, and it comes Queen 6-5 rainbow.
All in, 2,500 remaining into 5,200. Feels fair. Ron with 2 tens and a decision.
Yeah, and he's honestly getting a pretty decent price given the fact that there's only one overcard here, and Jay could very well have ace-king. It's also a little bit weird, though, because, I don't know, you do kind of have to factor in the fact that Jay has been relatively quiet for most of the night. His raise size was quite small, and he's got the nit button. And there's only a couple players with a nit button, so if he had ace-king, wouldn't he just ship it all in for maximum pressure and just like to be happy to take it down? So yeah, I like the fold from Ram there. Lets the tens go. Jay picks it up, and Dindy gonna have to pay out the nit game.
Ouch. It does not pay to be a nit in this game, folks. Actually, the opposite.
You guys want to do one more, or like, I think the end of the stream's in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to probably say no, because I've got to leave as soon as so I won't be able to stick around. So,
Okay.
There's a way to accommodate that if I was doing it again, but if we're still in it, I'm going to have to go.
We did it a lot. It's okay.
Huh?
We did it a lot. It's okay. We did it like 4 times, right?
That's my hope, Doug R. Maybe with the new bigger room, we can finally see that down bad Ben Kirby Invitational. I sure hope so. I sure hope so.
So sick.
If you guys ever get that running, I am definitely going to drive up there and play.
Please do. That would be amazing.
Should have lost 3.
And what, it was just a bunch of mixed game tournaments and stuff, right?
Yeah, basically like World Series of Poker format, limit mixed game tournament with like super long levels and a low buy-in. So
I remember who you beat. You beat Brandon.
lots of poker to be played, minimal money to be won. Unless TCH wanted to put like a guarantee on it, then that would change the game a little bit.
Ah, yeah.
And then maybe we get the cash games going before and after and never stop them.
That would be
I can't play
fun.
super late.
I'll totally be available now with 2 kids to host and play that.
Yeah, you'll show up with big bags under your eyes and just like fall asleep at the table.
Where am I?
It's just like-
Wake me up when it's my blind.
I have some work stuff I got to finish before I go to New Orleans.
All right.
Top
so
2. JW.
Can't have an 8 a.m. meeting.
Yeah, Doug R. I like this. I like these vibes. 2-hour levels. Max late reg will be 3 days after it starts. Yes, dude. Yes.
He's supposed to come back up probably.
Another fantastic run out here for Jeremiah. Brian Green on the hook. Betting 3 streets here. And in fact, betting 2,000 on the end as well. Just barreling away with the ace, the naked ace. And Jeremiah easy call down with the turn to 2 pair. A little bit curious there from Brian as to what is going to call him that he beats, but just trying to get one through and does not go his way.
Pulled 1,600 extra out of your stack.
JW, 30K winner tonight. Wow. What a great night for him so far.
He was here when we started. He was here for like 2 years.
Adam, unfortunately, on the opposite end, losing about 22K.
Did you like text or no? I don't know if I have his number. I saw it. I was like, yeah. You guys buried him away from the table, and I was like,
James, I'm going to ask you not to pull out your phone.
Yacht Club limping up front. We've seen some devious intentions given this arrangement before, so perhaps just going to see if he can convince everybody to limp behind.
or your bookie lets you know.
So as not to get squeezed out of the pot with a back raise. Looks like that strategy is going to work, and here we go. 4 players to a flop. See some hearts. Yeah.
Check. About 200 fold.
couple of players with a gut shot and overcards. Ram and Yacht Club both pairing their 6 on the turn. Jay with the nut spade. We're going to check all the way through. Queen of Hearts on the end changes nothing, and the pair of 6s for both Ram and Yacht Club is going to chop this up as both players having the queen kicker on board. Jay, though, going to go ahead and lead out here for 750, and that gets both of the players with a 6 to fold, and Jay going to take this one down. Let's go.
Let's go.
And with that, he's going to Taco Bell. Let's go, baby.
Jay in the green, $300. He can get whatever he wants at Taco Bell.
Hell
$0.
And true to form, I am over here salivating, waiting for these next 42 minutes to go by so that I can go get
the
my
longest 42 minutes of the week.
Deuce on the river, deuce on the turn. Never sees it coming.
Yeah, these hands are good when they're sneaky.
Sneaky deuces.
$100. Raise to 250.
Ace-8 suited for JD, worthy of a raise under the gun. Absolutely nothing down the rest of the line, and Yacht Club will show his neighbor the 7 Dewey.
I've had 7 deuce so many times today.
Would actually make it so much fun if we did. I know, right? Never get anybody to agree to it.
Get me to agree to it.
They're like, yeah, it sounds fun, but it needs to be a big penalty for it.
Adam and JD both raising about 1 out of every 4 hands they've seen here this evening.
Yeah, JD, kind of a
Like 14K to dawn.
so-so night for him, where oftentimes you'll see him more involved, but I think card dependent, he's just been relatively quiet for the majority of the stream.
I was going to need a flop. How's the head?
Jay going to open his button with the 10-6 suited. Ram will raise it up and take it down. Yeah, Jeremiah up over 30K. Yacht Club 12K. Jay, after trying to get it through on the button there, up only $25. Still can go to Taco Bell. That's still a healthy order, but probably just an order for 2, not for the whole family.
I won that one. I won another big one. And then versus Shorty, I ended up losing half the money.
It's Dewey.
Yeah. Versus Shorty, let's say it's 2 stays 3.
We do a fun little promotion here in Austin where if you get in any PLO game, whether you're playing a bomb pot or just an actual PLO table, if you get dealt 4 of a kind in your hand, you get $400. That's pretty cool.
Oh.
And then also another promo that rotates through. If you get dealt, if you make quads, like the quads of the day, today it's queens, and it rotates through. Tomorrow it'll be kings, and then it'll be aces, and then it cycles back to 2s, and so forth and so on. If you make quads having a pocket pair of that card in your hand, you get paid whatever the bonus is, whatever the payout is.
That 2-5 one day, and then 0 was just like.
And
so
so right now it's up to $4,000 here in Austin. So if you make quad queens today here in Austin, TCH, with pocket pair of queens, you gonna get paid. So
Nice.
A lot of people here sweating that one, trying to hit the jackpot. It's kind of fun.
It's always fun to have a jackpot to go after,
like,
especially if it feels like actually attainable and not impossible.
Don't care.
Benjamin White here with a comment that we just pretty much rarely hear. Usually people love to see the information, but doesn't like how frequently we put up the earnings, the PFR, the VPIPs, all of that. So thank you for the feedback. Do appreciate that. Sorry that it's a little bit too much for you, but generally speaking, we get a lot of, had gotten a lot of comments in the past, and I see this on other streams as well. where if you don't show that information frequently enough, people get a little bit antsy and want to see how much is my favorite player up and what happened in the last few hands or whatever. So thank you for the feedback. Do appreciate it, Benjamin. But we are just showing as much information as we can to keep people up to date. That is our goal.
It's like what, 4:30 in the morning for him right now. He's watching that shit jonesing out of his mind.
All right, limp here from Jay. Yacht Club going to squeeze it up from the small blind. And Jay
seemed very over it.
Not going to continue. Kevin and Michael saying it's great as is. Cool. Thank you very much. And Humid wants to see the poker floor one time. Yeah, that would be a cool view to be able to pan out over the room, show all of the great action, wall to wall tables full of people.
We often do that, but I think it might be random.
Doug here with a suggestion, a VPIP bounty. The lowest VPIP pays the highest $1,000. Yeah, that would be something.
Take that cappuccino with him.
Can I get one more of the añejo? Of the añejo, which is sweet.
All right, a raise and a call in between Ram. Waking up with the ladies. He's going to squeeze from the cutoff, 1.2K now. Brian Green will make the call. And Jay here, and he's going to release. So we'll go heads up to a flop. Suited one gapper. First, the over pair. All hearts, king time.
Sevens for Brian Green and Rom with second pair on a monotone board.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. No, I thought it'd be hard for you to have ace king or ace queen.
Keep it up, kid.
700. Looks like maybe a quick call from Brian.
Kind of hard.
Not really. Blockers aren't even real anyway. Yeah. Not even. It's a myth.
Jay of dies.
You gotta manifest it in your mind.
Yeah.
You gotta get better at that.
So how the kids say it, right?
Yeah, dude. Get that street lingo in here.
It does feel like such a scam, though.
Mr. BCDs. No, this game is in Dallas. I am commentating from Austin. That is my home club.
Technology. It's amazing.
It's not supposed to be impossible.
Yeah. It's called ace king, you're like?
200 for Rom with two ladies.
Yeah, TCH Live coming at you from Dallas 2 nights a week for cash games, both Tuesdays and Wednesdays out of TCH Dallas. Then we do have TCH Austin on Mondays, 2-5 match the stack game, as well as some 1-3 coming at you here starting this week. 1-3 No Limit Texas Hold'em coming out of Austin on Thursdays. Of course, you can always tune in on Saturdays for the final table of the weekly 50K guaranteed tournament as well.
Brand new chips down in Austin, too, for those visual folks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, as of, I guess it's probably been about a month now, thereabouts. It was right around the cruise time, I suppose it was.
Yeah.
That the new chips came into effect. And, man, I love them, personally. I think it's a big upgrade, but, you know,
I wonder what they did with the old ones.
Say what?
I wonder what they did with the old ones.
Yeah, I'm curious about that, too. Whatever happens to old chips.
Four-way action on a 10-high board. Paolo with the 2 5s in the lead for now.
Appreciate those kind words, Raina. Thank you so much.
JD going to stab at it with some backdoor hopes and dreams, betting 600.
Brian here, perhaps with some Yeah, bring in the nasty here. 'Cause I've got a 4, so blocking the sets of 4s. I called from the straddle as well, so I can have all of these funky 2-pair combos. If I've got 9-4 off, I've definitely got 10-4 off, 10-4 suited, 4 deuce, whatever. And he's going to show the 9-4, just like, yeah, get out of here. I can have all that stuff.
That's dominated.
You were ahead?
You should 4-9 off.
10K add-on.
Yeah. Were you ahead?
Of that.
Yeah.
But you were ahead of that?
Yeah, I was ahead of
That
that.
was behind you.
What?
And we've got some new folks joining us here in the chat box and just in the viewership. Do want to encourage all of you guys to hit the subscribe button. We've got all kinds of free content coming at you throughout the week. Mondays through Thursdays for live cash games, Saturdays for the final table tournament as well. So if you are not subscribed, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell to help you be made aware of all the times that we go live here on TCH Live.
Welcome, welcome, especially our new Twitch viewers and those maybe that are fans of Jeremiah W. Really thrilled to have a new audience tonight and hope you've enjoyed the stream.
King 8 suited going around in a couple of spots. Pocket 10s here for Brian and Jay on the 9-4 of diamonds. So 4 players to this flop ace high, 2-tone. A couple of hearts out there for Jeremiah. Pair of 10s for Brian still out in front. Effective 3rd pair in the lead. Picks up a gut shot now on the turn. Jeremiah, though, with the gut shot of his own as well as the hearts. And he is going to 2x the pot here.
Uh-oh. First bluff of the night, feels like, for Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah definitely showing off the solver strategies, putting his opponents to the maximum test in spots where it's going to be really tough for them to continue.
I mean, so I hear you're trash at Call of Duty. Like, really bad.
You can play.
And number 91 here, as we've got 30 minutes left in the
This
broadcast.
Barb's guy, he said he's tired of carrying you or something.
We'll breach the 100 hand mark, but certainly the over-under not going to be set at 120 this evening.
Yeah, very true. Set a good line last time.
You're financing the team, you know.
I think they're implying that Dindy might be a pro Call of Duty player.
He's the talent.
Maybe on Team Optic, which would be very interesting.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
They were talking about Call of Duty with Dindy, and they were talking about financing the team.
Oh.
They might be talking about Team Optic, which is Dallas's local pro Call of Duty. Well, they're a pro esports team, but they have a Call of Duty team called Empire. Be curious. I'm going to look this up.
Wow. Just keeps getting easier and easier here for Jeremiah as he flops top 2 pair. JD here, 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush. He's not going to continue for that large size.
Yeah. Buddy, I don't know if you misclicked, but you bet.
What did I bet?
I don't know. You bet like too much money.
JD says you bet too much money.
I had an 8 high, and I was just like, you know.
Queen 9 up?
What'd you have?
Huh?
What'd you have in this end where you just?
Oh, I had Queen 9
See
suited.
the roster.
I had top 2 pair.
I had Queen 9 suited in my hand versus you.
Bad flat.
Maybe not.
Can't do anything right.
Maybe they were talking about something else.
When you did 4-9?
Oh, just only a bit.
Just now?
30.
No. He was talking Queen 9 on this end.
Just this hand.
I was about to hand when you bet 3,200 on the. All right, we have.
Oh, that one? Oh, I don't know yet.
Pocket 10s have been going around. That is certainly,
That's what you had on that hand.
in my estimation, the pocket pair we have seen the most of.
I had a straight draw
Wow,
flush draw.
JD here waking up with 2 red Cowboys next to
Cowboys.
Act.
Raised to 1,000.
It's Jack 7-9.
And this is under the gun versus under the gun +1. And Ram waking up with jacks now. But yeah, this feels a little bit sketchy. You usually don't see it open and a re-raise right up front. When you do, you know you're up against the two tightest ranges at the table. Ram here may just consider a flat. But no, he does go for the cold 4-bet. 3,600 is the bet. And these are 3 of the deeper stacks at the table. Jeremiah, of course, sitting on 50K plus, but these guys all starting around 20K. And JD is like, wow, this is pretty awesome, but it is still a cold 4-bet against the UTG and UTG1 open and 3-bet. So you'd hate to just stuff all of the chips in the middle and be up against aces. So I suspect JD's just going to play this as a call. There we go. 7,600 in the middle, stacked pot ratio, a little over 2. And it comes ace high.
Bet 1,300.
1,300 here from Ram, very small size. This board is completely belongs to the 4-better. Of course, JD is going to be uncapped. We can see he's calling with kings. He can call with aces as well. Ace, king, very reasonable holdings as well. So these two players not at a particular nut disadvantage, but Ram will have the overall advantage. 6 of spades on the turn, shouldn't change a thing. Ram here probably not going to love making this pot very much larger.
Yeah.
He is going to continue betting. 4,200.
Sizable.
4,200.
This is a huge pot.
Yeah, I mean, this certainly does look like he's just sort of building the pot slowly so that he can jam it all in on the river with a hand like pocket aces or ace king. JD here. Hard blocking the ace kings of the world. Of course, there are several combinations of ace king still out there. Can't get too wrapped up in blockers and assume that you just are never against it. But JD is going to lay down the best hand. Pocket kings go in the muck, and Ram foot on the pedal to the metal, takes it down and moves up over $31,000. That gets him into the green as well, up 200 bucks.
Jeez. Huge pot there. J's versus K's. Aggression won out in the long run.
Wow. Yeah, and that's just the dynamic of having an ace flop and you've got pocket kings and your opponent just keeps barreling. It just always feels like they've got it.
Right.
Quick folds all the way around. Dindy here, jack of spades and a mystery card. Coming in for a raise, and with this misread, we may not know what he's working with for the remainder of the hand, but Ram with a couple of deuces will come along. As will Yacht Club. So 3 players to a flop.
Queen tray 8. Badoogie. Dindy. The 1-card sweat. Rom under pair. Seen him do a lot with these deuces in the past. Kind of a disconnected board, but decides against stabbing at it. Free card. Now deuces feel a little better.
Oh, half pot bet there.
Yacht Club being deliberate with the 7-5 ball with a player behind. And Dindy with just a call. Eight's full for Rom.
If this is something like Ace Jack, right? Definitely very reasonable to go check on the flop and check call turn. Board pairs the 8 another time, and
Dindy raised pre. Quick call. Is this jacks or nothing?
it is
jacks. Wow. $3,000 pot. Maybe he left a little on the table, but he did ensure a call on the end from Rom.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. You could even think that he could be doing that with Ace King for value, right? Because like any other Ace X hand would be playing the Ace Queen in the 3/8s and would probably snap call 500. So I think he's got his bet sizing in the right right area there. Oh, looks like a little misdeal here.
I want to see what. 3. Perfect.
Oh, Travis, I added 5K. Travis, I added 5. Fucking wrong. Nice.
Had an opportunity to watch any other shows recently? Anything new, anyway?
We let's see. There's been a lot of the seasons we were waiting for have come back, like Succession, Ted Lasso. What else? There was another one. What was the other one?
Paragones.
Adam here raising it up 250. JD in the straddle will complete the Ace 3 suited.
Paragones is good.
And here we go. 2 clubs on board. Gut shot to Broadway as well.
Nice flop for Adam. There's
back
this
door for JD though.
New show called The Last Thing He Told Me on Apple, which has been pretty interesting with Jennifer Garner.
Top pair for both players now on the turn. Adam here with a hand that can still go for value and call if JD were to go for the check raise. 800 into 1,000, and JD here not picking up any additional straight or flush equity, but with the top pair now, it'd be tough to fold to this bet. Gonna size up Adam and make the call. King on the river, top 2 for Adam. Does put a one-liner to a straight though.
Adam would love to get some redemption and get closer to even at least. Gosh, he would puke if he got check ripped on and JD. At least thinking about it. Thinking that he's got to have more jacks than Adam does. He knows he's stuck.
JD's body language here, though, suggesting that he's not
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
really contemplating a raise. Yeah.
What about you on the TV front? All-knowing wizard of TV.
I appreciate that that title very much, but no, I really haven't been spending much time in front of the TV here as of late. Been trying to get outside a little bit more.
Okay.
And
a little vitamin D.
Indeed, yeah, indeed. Do some hiking, some running, some different things before it gets too hot. So now is just kind of the perfect time of year.
Yeah,
to,
very true.
Have it be warm enough that you can get out and enjoy yourself without having to layer up any longer, but also not just like sweat your ass off and die in the sunshine. So
it's been amazing the last few days in Texas, or at least in Dallas.
Yeah. So I have not dabbled in it. Certainly not in anything really new, but
sure. I'm sure your mental health is significantly improved. Then we should all be doing what you're doing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's good to mix things up and get a little bit of everything. So definitely am interested though in getting some shows started during the summer months when it's really hot and you just kind of need to spend some time inside as well.
Boring. Very boring.
It's a good hand.
Yeah.
Pretty hand.
All right, quarter 50 and 100 and 96.
Maybe we can reverse it. You get these two.
Jay here sitting on 7,000, rounding things out at the bottom of the leaderboard. Jay Dubs up over 50K in his
Dubs doing what he said he was going to do. We let him off the hook. They are who we thought they were.
Raising a re-raise already. Now M. Dindy looking down at Ace King off in the cutoff. Generally speaking, a standard hold 4-bet spot. And he agrees.
Final 15 minutes of the stream. Can we do it? Can we play at least one more massive cooler pot? Let's do it. Let's do it for our new friends over on Twitch and our loyal regulars here on YouTube. 30K plus pot inbound. It's M. Dindy flopping top once again.
Quarter pot size continue here. And Brian gonna sort of pounce on this relatively small sizing, maybe sensing a little bit of a timing tell as well. M. Dindy there taking his time doing the math and sort of picking his size. So Brian gonna hit him with the raise and says to himself, like king, queen, jack, queen, jack are all gonna be under a lot of pressure with this raise.
10,000 in the middle, and Brian Green with an underpair has to feel like he needs to give up. The king peels.
Ratio under 1. What do you do?
Yeah. Sneaky little check back. 5 on the river. Giving Brian one more shot at it. All in.
6-7, a very rational hand combination for Brian Green to go for a check raise on the flop with. That just got there.
That's not good.
Says that's not good, and he genuinely doesn't feel great about it. Man, the balls on this guy, Brian Green. Putting M. Dindy to the test for his whole stack with just a pair of 3s. And he calls. $26,000 pot. What did I just say, folks? Huge pot coming. And we just saw it. Ryan Green getting caught. Dindy's aces and kings. Nice play. Nice check on the turn from the newcomer to the stream. Wow. Huge pot.
Yeah, that was a spicy one for sure. And Dindy, who has been pretty patient so far this evening, I would say.
Yeah.
Been down near the bottom of the V-pips and just kind of waiting for his spots. Has had a lot of kind of mediocre spots really for the majority of the night. Really been stuck most of the night as well. Not running good in the Nick games or anything, but with that moving up into positive territory and pretty solidly as well, up 11K, so turning a small loss into a big win. Yeah, pretty wild. Only 3 players winning here this evening between Jeremiah, Dindy, and what is it? Yacht Club.
Yeah. Pretty fun game tonight, though. Interesting few spots. A $200 straddle pretty frequently.
RS Actuary says, "Night all, I'm Houston." Well, good night to you as well.
Good night.
I'm Houston.
I'm Dallas.
I'm Austin.
King Jack.
Jack Diamond.
All right, over there. There goes the PFRs real quick.
And 98. Let's see if any tanking occurs. Do you set the line at 100 or maybe 102?
Jay here under the gun, limps the ace jack. Dindy, wow, massive raise here with the queen 10 suited.
Sheesh. Adam, ace queen. This is a huge open.
These are such awkward spots. You just like rarely see anybody open to this size.
Ryan Green happy to set mine with the 7s with a caller in front. And Jay, limp fold strategy. 3-way action. A little bit of life for Dindy's hand.
The top.
Three players. Check here. Check. About 750 forward.
So ace queen goes into the muck. Brian makes the call. 6 of clubs on the turn changes nothing for Dindy. Still just working with the overcard and the gut shot. Checky, deuce of hearts. And Brian Green. The 7s will win if we get to showdown. And can Dindy even credibly represent anything here? I think the answer is no. He agrees, and the 7s are going to take this down. Well, while we're on this train of telling everybody where we're from, let us know in the chat where you are from as we round out the evening. Please do also consider hitting that like button, helping us out in that department. Always do appreciate you guys. I think we're, well, my like button or my like counter always freezes up, so mine says 84. I'm sure we're well above that, but you know, every like counts. So please do consider hitting that button for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Paolo.
Always fun to see where people are watching from. I mean, I've been doing this for about 3 years now. You've been doing it even longer. We recognize a lot of these people in the chat, but for all the newcomers, very curious to know where you're watching from, where in the world. Oftentimes it's an international affair. So very curious to know where everyone's watching from. Sick Puppy, Irondale, Missouri. Columbus, Nebraska. Melbourne, Australia. Butte County, NorCal.
Nice.
I'm Houston.
North Korea, let's go. All right, Jay here going to limp and call this time as M. Dindy goes for the squeeze, ostensibly with the 5 do-so. Battle of the straddles, so M. Dindy flopping best with the bottom pair continues. And Jay cannot continue, so there you go. Liquid Sword is mad at reading. I think everybody gets mad at reading every once in a while. Usually in the middle school time frame. Reading is a real pain in the ass.
Yeah. I hate this. I hate the skill that I'm going to use my entire life.
Oh, man. All right, Yacht Club here under the gun, ace queen. Raise that up, and JD sees the writing on the wall. He's like, yeah, no, king queen isn't worth anything here. Easy game. Just like that, the line at 102 is getting blown past, in fact. 110.
Wow, yeah.
If we get a couple of raising takies, we could actually get there, but a few minutes left in the broadcast, so.
Pretty solid dealer that can get these hands through.
That's right.
The longest 5 minutes of Aaron McAvoy's life with Taco Bell screaming his name.
Oh, man.
He worked hard all week with the running and the hiking, preparing for this very night.
That's right. I've been good.
Stuffed burritos. I got a DoorDash gift card, too, burning a hole in my pocket. I might be tempted. It's here as well.
The time is now.
The time is now.
All right. Limp pot here, 4 waves. There we go. Ooh. A frito burrito, says Michael Tilton. Yeah, any kind of burrito is fair game for me right now.
In 2013, they got like a 10-year punishment for being a bad actor.
Which one of the ones you get? The grilled stuffed burritos?
Came down in 2013 though, so 10 years, 2023. You know what?
Yeah, no, I get the grilled cheese burrito.
Grilled cheese
right now.
burrito, I see it.
Although
yeah.
I am quite disappointed because they don't do the double steak anymore. That was like their intro. That they or their introductory thing for the grilled cheese burrito was double steak, and now they only offer regular steak or ground beef or chicken. So sad.
That hurts.
I mean, it would be cool if they could just
Yeah,
lip
but
all
it's still
the
delicious. I get the
steaks
regular steak one now,
They just
and
get it.
it's still fantastic.
Last year.
I gotta go drop something in here.
Last
That's right, they do
hand.
have to do
But
something.
they didn't link it.
That's so dumb.
They literally
I wonder what's stopping that.
some legal yes. I don't really understand. I know that like I emailed them last year and I was like when is this merge gonna happen? And they replied Q4 2020.
Come and take.
This is their they were and it was like set in stone. It was supposed to happen in Q4 2022 and it just didn't happen. And here we are.
All right, Jay here on the button. Gonna raise this up to J10.
Yeah, if all the states that have it already.
And
It's really something special. Even with just
that's a raise and takey.
Raise and takey. Hand 104 to hand 105. Jeremiah looks like he might be able to book this 30. Oh, we are. He is booking the win. That was the last 2-card hand.
Well, there you go.
$100 flip, and Jeremiah, what a showing tonight. From the online streets to the live stream nosebleeds, $33,000 win tonight. Welcome to Dallas, young man.
Yeah, pretty
Putting on a
fantastic
clinic.
showing. Yacht Club also doing quite well. Dindy there on that that big hand there right at the end, also chipping up nicely. Adam, Brian Green having a pretty rough night. JD also down a fair bit as well. But fantastic night of poker here, all things considered. It's really been a pleasure watching this game with you, my friend.
Likewise, yeah. And it's always fun to have newcomers to the stream. So if anybody out there that could afford this game has ever considered getting in the mix, the time is now. You just saw JW do it for the first time. You could also be like JW and win a Suburban in 4 hours. So, yeah, we appreciate everybody joining us tonight. And Mr. McAvoy, I always learn something new about the game, and so appreciate your insight and your skilled commentary, as always.
Well, thank you, sir. I, too, enjoy hanging out with you and with everybody here in the chat, hanging out with us this evening. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. It looks like Ram here is going to make the nut flush here. Yeah, ace, queen of clubs in hand there. So he's going to go ahead and ship the last PLO bomb pot here. $4,500 moving that way. And that is going to do it for us here at TCH Live. For myself, Aaron McAvoy, for the staff, the production team here for TCH Live, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night for more live cash game action out of Dallas. Thank you guys all so much.